And welcome back, Psychic Unicorns, Dice, Dragons, and Queer Witches, to another episode of Heavensfire! Woo! Episode 2. The hype is real. I'm not just Ric Flair wooing for no reason. I don't give those out like candy. That is very special. And we have a brand new overlay. My heart is racing, and I am so excited to premiere this fantastic, incredible overlay thanks to the hard work of the ESP art department, specifically from Kinela, played by the wonderful and lovely Rory from the RGB Vision and Roy Brown Designs, who is also our lead artist over at ESPDND and ESP art department, and in collaboration with Offscreen, my wonderful girlfriend Nelly, who's sitting there on the couch. I love you so much. Thank you for all of your time, effort, and hard work assisting Rory with this, and also Gabby offering advice as well. As we know, Gabby has all of their wonderful art available at Gabaruga. You can look her up on the interwebs. There we go. There's some links for you. The map I did myself, so that's just a little ESP original there. So welcome back, everybody. We're so happy to have all of you back. As always, for the interactive tarot card pulls, new subscribers. Let me refresh the overlay here just to make sure. I think it should be okay. 2 hours. Yep, new subscribers trigger tarot card pulls, and patrons get 2 tarot card pulls per game. If I don't see it in the chat here for our patrons, we do have a private patrons-only chat in our ESP Discord server, which you can join and become a patron. All kinds of stuff happening over at ESPDND, so welcome. We're happy to have everybody back for another amazing episode of our new cast, episode 2. Oof, I'm so excited. Anybody have any specific announcements or anything they want to drop? Anything they want to plug or promo? I'm just excited about this shiny new overlay. I know y'all got a lot going on.
You already plugged me. I'm good.
All right. And
looks so good.
Gabby, are your commissions open?
They are open. I'm not taking any new ones right now because I've got a bit of a backlog. Just trying to make it through that, and then I'll be updating on Twitter and stuff when like more are available and stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. How about Avalon? Any news in the VO community front, the independent VO community front?
Not for me. Well,
Supersuits
just had Supersuits just had its final live rehearsal.
Awesome.
So that's probably going to be beginning its releases in the next few months. I cannot give an exact date. I would not presume to assume, but it's in the near future probably.
Awesome. What about Desert Brass Designs? Anything going on there?
Yeah, my commissions are open. I'm currently taking new commissions. And I also recently got a Twitter, so you can follow me on there as well. So on my social media is at Desert Brass, or my Etsy is just Desert Brass Designs. And that's currently on pause, but all my commissions are open.
Okay, and awesome. Thank you. And Avalon, remind me to do a little exclamation mark command for you on the Nightbots. Anything going on in the wide world of Ember and or Emma? KO Natura? Miscellaneous stuff?
You're welcome to link KO Natura. I am working on it a lot behind the scenes, so I haven't posted in a bit, but you're welcome to... I will, if you want to follow it, and I will hopefully get it all updated soon. So, we'll see.
Awesome. And last but not least, because I know there's always a lot of stuff going on in the incredible community of No Ordinary Heroes, Renee, what you got? And I need also remind me as well, please, for both of our new cast members to have a Nightbot command for both Renee and Avalon.
Yay! Oh god, I'm always terrible with this stuff. So I run a gaming channel with my best friend. I will refer to her as my waifu because she is my waifu, and we're just 2 aces who are just trying to play some indie games with story and whatnot. So if you are interested in that kind of stuff, you can pop over to No Ordinary Heroes on Twitch, or on YouTube, or Instagram, or Twitter, or all the social medias. We have you. I main our TikTok. If you're wondering why it's just mainly me, I main our TikTok. I post a lot of weeb crap. So if you like the animus and the mangoes, that's your place to go. What else?
I do like a good mango.
Yeah, it's some sweet mangoes.
Yep.
But yeah, that's it. That's it from me.
Do you consume your mangoes backwards? But that's it for my jokes
Always.
today because they're terrible. All right, so any other announcements? Oh, consuming your mangoes backwards? Don't worry about it.
I'm Googling it.
And without... Thank you! Yeah, the overlay, I'm so happy. And again, thank you again to Rory and Gabby and Nellie, who is also kind of our impromptu tech support. I dragged her out of bed to come over and help with the technical issues. So thank you so much. She's over there being cute. When we last left off in episode 1 of Heavensfire, this ragtag, ramshackle, completely random group of individuals. Hey, she's in the chat. This completely random smattering of an ancient warforged construct that had been unearthed from an ancient vault below the surface of the Ashen Isle in the Southern Isles. Adjacent to some form of eldritch maw that was fought off by the Voskretoria's finest mages, in conjunction with one of their up-and-coming soldiers, Harmony Nithes, who is quickly climbing up the ranks and recently achieved the new rank of Sergeant, recently promoted after this incident in the Southern Isles, which triggered some kind of an earthquake, a ripple, a disturbance below the surface of Valerian itself, which in turn caused a tsunami, which washed over the better part of half of this 7-mile-long island, causing various levels of turbulence throughout the Aleutian Sea, the southern oceans. Caught up in this turbulence were two strange individuals who found each other through the twisted machinations of fate. An amnesiac by the name of Thena, just Thena, found herself washed up on the southern shore of the Isle of Halivas, found by a resistance fighter, a remnant of Odror's rebellion during the 100 Years conflict that ravaged Veltheria. This freedom fighter, if you will, or as they call themselves, found this very tall, very large green woman who seemed to have some kind of an unnatural connection to whether it's Frovinia, the Wild Mother, or the Earth itself, the lush greenery that surrounds the Isle of Halivas. She seems to be able to inherently control the nature around her and even integrating it into her own DNA in a way, being able to produce, like druidcraft, flowers and greenery, twigs and thorns from her flesh. She also possesses great magical power that seems to intensify if she loses control of her emotions. Together, this remnant of Odror's rebellion and this very tall, very large green woman joined up together to simply survive. After which they weathered the storm and the tsunami. Their Fort Atronox in the Ashen Forest to the south was nearly destroyed in the flooding caused by the tsunami. Seeking help, they made their way north towards the town of Fair Haven in search of supplies, rations, assistance, new recruits. Coming out of hiding to formally request assistance for the town seemed to be a better alternative to remaining hidden and prolonging the suffering of this close-knit family that had formed in this fortress. Also accompanying Libby and Harmony is an emissary from the Kyrosian Empire by the name of Migs, just Migs. Megani Wildstitch, goes by Migs for short. Megani Wildstitch had been under the care of the Vascratoria and had accompanied Harmony Nithes on this expedition that we mentioned earlier to the Ashen Isles, and in the process had uncovered the inactive Libby Liber Alba, found a way to power her up, as it will, and rather than a construct of death or destruction, found a simple librarian. And of course, intercepting this group, seemingly as 3 points of fate converged into one, was the runaway noble of Ko-Hilarion Meliamne. As it was later discovered, Ko, for short, was not just any runaway noble, not just some minor lord. No, Ko's mother is one of the Council of Six, the ruling party of the Vascratoria, the seat of which lies adjacent the Beacon of Light in the Adra Kalina, the city of Valyria, shining city of lights, and the Aradil Mar, the home of elvish nobility and power in the entire continent of Veltheria and in the entire realm of the Vascratorian Queen's realm. Quite literally, Ko's mother is one of the 7 most important people in the entire continent of Veltheria. And of course, accompanying them was a mysterious tiefling elf, some mixed breed of the two, with the name of Kinela. Kinela, or Ki for short. A somewhat quiet, mysterious individual with interesting features and an even more interesting past, as they seem to be very hushed, very quiet about their family drama, family history. Ko was more than willing to offer up a few tidbits of information about a very strange occurrence regarding a mysterious man that had arrived seemingly out of nowhere and helped them elude the pursuit of several mercenaries who were trying to capture Ko and bring them back to their mother, to return this runaway noble, as it were. But this strange and extremely powerful individual helped this band of misfits, which included, for some reason, the Quicksilver Troop, one of the most famous underground punk bands, if you will, who discover the secrets of amplifiers through bard magic. As the twisting branches of fate coalesced together on the Isle of Halavas, this seemingly random group of individuals decided to stick together as one, and make their way back into the town of Fairhaven, seeking aid for the beleaguered fort in the Ashen Forest, seeking answers, following strange magical pings that had been detected by the Vascratoria at the highest levels of government, and seeking to, in some cases, simply just see what the world has in store. Upon making their way back towards the main road that leads into Fairhaven, just south of the fort, Fort Phoenix, you had encountered a strange storyteller, a mystic, a fortune teller, if you were, who weaved her own stories about the party and read some palms and drew some tarot cards. In the process of crossing the southern bridge, you were met by Harmony Nithes' commanding officer, but not just any commanding officer, the commanding officer, who they had just completed a mission to the Ashen Isle and the Southern Isles with. Darius Essex, who is not just any commander, not just any mage. Darius Essex is the High Ardragon, the secretive organization known as the Dragonkeepers, who answer only to the Council of Six, in some cases the Queen herself. The special forces of Magi in the realm, and perhaps the most powerful spellcaster in the entire world, accompanied by his second-in-command, Ardragon Alessia Von Macht, seemingly here on important information, somehow related to Harmony, who seems to be their special project. There was a hint of recognition between both Ardragon Alessia Von Macht and High Ardragon Darius Essex, between both Thena and Dahlia, though both seemed much more intent on this very large, green, earthly woman, Thena. In this tense moment, with everyone distracted by this strange interaction between the party and this very important, very powerful mage and his second-in-command, there are hints of recognition that spark in 100 different directions, and seeing the opportunity to very subtly engage this fortune teller, hanging back just a bit. Key. As everyone else crosses the bridge, and there is this interaction taking place, the fortune teller gazes over at you, the last to cross the bridge, and your eyes meet hers. She again is a middle-aged woman in her 50s with long bangled earrings that are several different precious stones and gold combined into this long, elegant earring with a small loop on the end. She's covered in bracelets and other handmade jewelry, and inside of this cart that she has set up, she is also seemingly selling wares, knickknacks, trinkets, precious stones, palm readings, tarot card readings, etc. A bit of wax candle she seems to, or appears to have made herself, as well as various other accoutrements that she has available. Your eyes meet hers, and she gives you a small but cautious smile. I'm gonna give the floor back to, I almost said the chimeras, kind of the chimeras, but Heavensfire, unnamed group. The floor is yours. I want to start with Key.
So, Key approaches very carefully and just kind of, would you mind doing mine? And holds out her palm.
So this fortune teller, it cautiously takes your palm, seemingly trying to read through you, and can't quite get a read or a bead on the situation as to exactly what's happening. Takes your palm in hers and begins to subtly trace the lines. She takes your palm in her hand, and in that moment as she's tracing the lines, you see her shoot up from the stool as the stool fumbles backward, and she slams into the back of the cart, and with this horrified look on her face, just seems to be staring past you as bits and baubles and glasses begin to fall off of the shelves. What's everyone's passive perceptions again?
Oh, mine's so high. Hold on. It's like a 16, I think.
Mine's
15.
14.
15 for Libby.
Okay,
Minus 18.
who said
Ding.
18?
16 for Athena.
Okay, was that 2 16s or 1 16?
116, 118.
Okay, so Thena and Dahlia have the highest? Okay,
Yeah.
Thena and Dahlia, in the midst of everything that's going on with you, with this tense moment between Darius, you hear a glass shatter over the bridge, and you see, as you kind of just glance over momentarily, that cart just kind of shake, and she seems to just be looking past you.
Key would... try and look at the direction that she's looking past me in. Just slowly turn.
You turn behind you, and you see that same figure you saw before, lighting a cigarette, a hand-rolled cigarette, just with the finger. that sort of handsome visage looks down at you and just... And you turn back towards just a quick check back and forth. You would see this woman is now clawing with her fingernails at the wood, trying to, seemingly in a trance, just...
Stop.
Why?
Just stop.
Why? Does this not amuse you? Does not
It does
amuse
the
you?
opposite of amuse me.
People shouldn't dabble in things that they can't control. But you, on the other hand, you've got a lot of potential. Of course you do.
Potential, you call it a curse, I do.
This woman reached too far into the darkness, and I was happy to say, what's the expression? Boo.
Leave them all alone. The sick pleasure you get out of these games.
I'm afraid I can't do that. There are bigger things at stake. Maybe I'm trying to rile you up. Maybe this is all part of the plan. Maybe it's just a touch of chaos. See, the interesting thing about this is that you'll never know.
I don't want involved in your plan.
I'm afraid that's not your decision to make.
Never was it?
No, I suppose it wasn't. Fine, fine. I'll let you have your plaything back. This island bores me anyway. Once you get back on the mainland, we'll talk more then.
I guess I'm living on this island now.
We'll see about that. Or maybe I will make this island my personal plaything.
Let me know which one you decide and I'll figure out where I need to go from there.
Well, I need you on the mainland, so if that means that I have to terrorize people here, or terrorize you and your friends here, well, there's much more important things at stake than your misguided sense of pride. Or independence. Besides, this world needs reforging, because there are so many bigger things at stake. You'll see.
Well, I'd hope not. We'll see.
He vanishes.
I can
As you
listen
blink.
to you roleplay that character for hours. Dope voice.
Thank you. All right, so the rest of you just kind of saw Key kind of just talking to themselves.
That's lovely.
Is the woman still there?
The woman you hear kind of panting, but seems to have fallen and collapses onto the wooden floor of the cart.
Wrong woman. I'm talking about Alessia.
Oh, okay. All right. In that moment, as looking back and forth, you would have seen Key talking to someone who wasn't there, and then a bit of a thud. But going back to the town of Fairhaven itself, I'm going to tab over here.
Was it like a time skip thing? Retcon? Is that it?
We were retconning that while this was happening, simultaneously, Key was over here across the bridge.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
makes sense?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, it's all happening
Key, like-
simultaneously.
So he lingered while we were,
Yes.
desperately trying not to die. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
gotcha.
And just to make sure, Key is using she or they, correct?
Yes.
Okay, for Keneela specifically. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And now I want the other song back. I want the other.
Aaron put her whole Aaron-nessy into that, man. Holy shit.
When you typed that, I literally died.
I can tell she's
Dungeonatrix.
so proud.
That's me.
How Aer'ath into this man.
Mm.
All right. Get my tarot cards ready here. All right.
Well, I think he just gave Dahlia an out.
All right. So, to answer your question, yes, Alessia Von Macht and Darius Essex are still here, and in that tense moment is where we're going to pick up.
Can I do a vibe check real quick? Because I want to see if, because she was clearly making an attempt to do all of this behind Darius's back. I want to see if Thena can figure out that she's trying to keep Darius from figuring out that there's something between the two of them.
Okay, go ahead and make an insight check. Also, patrons.
That is a 23.
All right. Also, patrons, remember that you do also have the ability to grant advantage on any specific checks, and also drop your health potions, and 1 disadvantage to enemies. So keep that in mind as well. 23. Okay. Yeah, exactly what you just said. You kind of snap that right into place. No issue.
Okay, cool. How close is Darius to us?
You're all in a group together. The map is just kind of relative placement, but you're all sort of clumped together and within 5, 10, 15 feet of each other. Spread out, but close enough in proximity. It's a social distance, we'll say.
Okay. She was very clearly confused and did not seem to understand what she was doing or who I was, right?
Looking at her now with your 23, she still doesn't. She seems to be kind of milling over in her mind, what does this mean? However, there is a hint of recognition, but it seems to be professional, if that makes sense. She's looking at you. She went from having this moment with you to looking at you, and there is recognition, but that recognition seems to be. It seems
Lab
to be
rats
very
seen by
guarded.
scientists.
You said it, not me. A guarded,
Okay,
professional, observant, yes.
Thena is very confused, upset, and a little bit put off by the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
Thena is holding Dahlia's hand. She's going to try to just walk into town.
Okay.
Not say anything, just walk away.
Okay. As you start walking with Thena, Darius says, "Wait." Perfect timing with the music. That was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that was good.
Just wait.
Was it a... Does Thena wait?
Does she?
Dahlia's turning around and trying to hold Thena in place.
Hang on, let me get the stat sheet out just in case she doesn't. That's that.
You know, my first note for this campaign was ragtag.
Is Dahlia actually holding Thena? Trying to hold Thena?
What was your first note for the campaign? Ragtag what?
Ragtag group of shits get their shit kicked in by Darius. The end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead with your question, Emma.
Is Dahlia actually trying to stop Thena from moving?
I mean, Dahlia has a death grip on her hand, and she's not moving, so Dahlia would Thena would need to drag her if she wanted to move, type thing. But she's turning around now, being kind of knocked out of that dissociative state she was in, and looks him in the eyes for a second.
So you do wait?
I think Thena stops because Dahlia has stopped.
Okay.
for the moment.
Okay.
I turn around to Darius and look him in the eyes. It's like, now I'm trying to compose myself and like bring down the scarf that was on my face. It's like, we've met before. Where exactly was it?
He seems to genuinely stop. You know, be honest. No.
Tip
Just
of
a
the spear?
hunch.
Nothing?
You see a grin creep across his face. Really? Interesting. And just takes a
Indeed.
few steps forward, and that,
I take a few steps forward as well and try to size him up, but I'm really short.
well, I'm assuming that you were just one of the locals who dwells within the forest north
Oh, of course.
our capital, because if you were there at the tip of the spear, that would make you a wanted criminal now, wouldn't it?
I tap my ears, hold my bow, of course. Just locals. Just death glaring in his eyes.
Indeed. You see Alessia now is just spinning a little bit of flame in her fingers now, just
And by
And-
the
Anna is
way,
going to stare at her.
he looks over and just puts a hand up.
and by the way, fire is not great in woods. Just saying.
Oh. And he just kind of takes a few steps forward. Oh, I have something very special for you. Very
You need to take me
special.
out for a drink first. Come on. I
Oh,
am a lady.
we can certainly have champagne available. Alessia, please, I have an idea. Alessia, stand. It's okay. Alessia, would you please fetch some champagne for us, or some
I'm not drunk
fine
yet.
red wine, just to have, put it on the ship, and we'll rendezvous after Harmony's business with locating this ping is completed. I assume that eventually you're all going to want to get back to the mainland. There's several things that await you there. Well, Harmony needs to go there anyway, and since I've placed you all under her care as wards, well, that just makes sense. There's a lot of things happening that are quite suspicious, and just, of course, too, in order to completely alleviate any confusion, that's why I've chosen Harmony to simply be a chaperone, so to speak, around the Isle of Halavas. Of course, just until we can clear up any confusions. Official Vascatorian business, you understand, of course.
Just out of eyesight of Darius, at the word chaperone, there is the slightest eye twitch. Just ever so slight. Ever so slight.
Yeah.
It's like I get a
Mix has
promotion
this-
and this is my first job.
Mix
I-
has this slightest like twitch of her mouth, just like trying
look
very
over.
hard not to be like, ha! You're my chaperone. Ha!
And of course, there is much to see and much to show our ward from across the sea in Karnos. Now, I have something
is he talking
special. He's talking about Minx.
Me.
I have
Oh, okay,
something
cool.
special for, and gestures over at Dahlia. What is your name?
Don't worry about it. Just a local.
For our local friend. And just looks over at Alessia and just makes a little motion with his finger. He looks over at Athena.
Athena has not looked at him, by the way, this entire time. She has straight up ignored this man.
He says, he just leans in and says, 3. Three.
Is there any magic going on?
3.
3 what, sir?
He kind of slowly kind of paces to the right, kind of sidestepping, looking at Thena, trying to get a bead on her, and just... Excuse me.
I would excuse you, but I don't think you would take it anyways.
Do you know who I am?
Unfortunately for you, and this must be an insult, I don't care.
You don't recognize anything?
Again, I imagine you hear this very little. No.
He looks at Alessia, who just kind of shifts uncomfortably. And... Wonderful. And Alessia just looks very confused, as if she's expecting some command that never comes. And he says, no. Please, please. Miss Von Macht, we have right here before us an incredible opportunity, the likes of which we have never seen before. This is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Is he actively looking at Thena?
He's looking at all of you now. I think I see and understand what's happening here now. Interesting. It's incredibly interesting. Write this down, Alessia. Do you recognize her? Points over at Alessia.
Thena is going to look at him and say nothing.
Oh, defiance. Yes.
Can't lie if you don't talk.
Miss Von Macht, this is absolutely the opportunity that we have been waiting for. My apologies, Miss, what should I call you?
Is he still looking at Theta?
Yeah.
The green bitch.
Of course. Actually, that isn't too far from, yes, looks over at Alessia. Something similar, yes. Okay. All right. Miss Green. My apologies. And he seems to be, like, testing you. I may have mistaken you for someone else. Please, carry on.
Thena walks away,
I will
dragging
go with
Dahlia
her.
behind her.
No, I'm walking with you. We're going shopping.
Fucking walking away. Like, gone.
Alessia just... Alessia actually just... And you hear Alessia, what the fuck are you doing? And he says... Test. A test.
A test of what, sir?
Puts a finger to his
Totally
forehead.
fucks him off.
And he looks over at you and says... That information is well beyond your capability.
As you wish.
Or understanding. Well, perhaps not. Perhaps if we could rattle around in that brain of yours, we could unlock some secrets.
Ew.
Something that could perhaps...
As far as I can tell, there are several secrets to be unlocked.
Thena's
Indeed.
gonna throw over her shoulder. If you stop talking to him, he'll get frustrated and leave. And then probably is rounding a corner now because she's got big ass legs.
And Dahlia's just flipping him off as they walk together.
Libby looks over to Harmony for, like, what are we doing?
Help.
Harmony, I have a couple of things here. Of course, there is the ping on the device that I gave to you from the mountains in the east. And also, he kind of goes into his one of his satchels and pulls out an envelope and just kind of looks at it and flickers. We've been itching to get inside of Millicent Manor for some time, and this seems to be an invitation personally addressed to you. Now,
Me.
you were on the docket of individuals that was going to be traveling, of course, with us on our ship, so it's not entirely uncommon for people to want to wine and dine the Aer'ath Takal, so to speak. I'm assuming that that's what this is about. And of course, you're not exactly a secret operative either. Your family is quite well known and quite prominent. I'm not looking too much into it because I have heard that there are several invitations being sent out to various individuals through in Halibas. It's a personal invitation from the Lord of Millicent Manor, who we thought was dead.
Yes,
But
I
apparently not.
heard. Interesting.
It seems to be signed by the new Lord of Millicent Manor, one Lord Artorius. A signature on the bottom. I hope you don't mind. I've already taken the liberty of thoroughly vetting this envelope for any magical means of sabotage or things of that nature. Everything is clean. Trace amounts of residuum on the envelope, but nothing harmful or that should be of any concern. The invitation is for tomorrow evening. The mountains are better part of a half a day's walk to the east. Plan your journeys accordingly and prioritize as you wish, but again, could be an interesting opportunity for us to get inside Millicent Manor and parley with this lord that has been keeping the manor possibly clean, possibly a filthy pigsty, who knows? We haven't seen the inside of it. Let me know what's going on in there and the manner of this Lord Artorius. And that's all.
Right, and I presume I'll be bringing the rest of them with me.
I think that would be a fair assumption.
Of course.
And of course, by proxy, Miggs, of course, as a guest of honor, a representative from our friends in the Empire. Yes. And of course, our newest friend here, Libby, was it?
Yes, that's correct. Or Lieber, if you prefer. Whichever is more convenient for you, sir.
Libby has a nice ring to it.
I think so as well.
Like a code name.
Something of the sort.
Well, I have champagne and wine to prepare for the show for our friend Dahlia. That being said, enjoy the rest of your time on Halivas. I have important paperwork to see to, and this is... my day just got a heck of a lot more interesting. Dismissed.
And Harmony will salute and look towards Miggs and Libby, and will just head gesture to walk away.
Miggs already started walking away when he said dismissed. It was like, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
Miggs was like,
We're good here.
Should I be saluting, sir?
Oh,
Do
no.
I have some sort of rank? I'm unclear on my standing.
No. You're just accompany Harmony and assist her with whatever she needs, and I think that will suffice.
As you wish.
We'll consider you a formal auxiliary if you wish, if that suits you.
I have no opinion.
Wonderful. Formal auxiliary it is. Well, don't let me keep you. Carry on.
Let us go.
As soon as we round the corner, I try to find the closest tree in the outskirts of town. Try carve that fucking shithead's face. Unload my quiver into his face and yell. Just unload all of them and then go get them.
As you do, you kind of look behind you, and the nearest tree is right next to what appears to be a farmstead with several chicken coops behind it. And you can see someone looking at you from their kitchen window, kind of a heavy-set man with sort of a wide-brimmed hat and sort of a dusty farmer's suit, if you will, and just kind of looks at you and has a bit of tea or coffee in a mug in his hand, and as he kind of looks out at you, just unloading this quiver of arrows into his tree, he just, what? And then just kind of slowly stares at you in disbelief. He goes, that's my favorite tree.
Fina, dearie. Fina, do you mind fixing up the tree a little?
I'm so sorry, Dahlia. Thina did not stop walking.
No,
Thina is partially into town at this point. She is not. She has stopped seeing around her. I imagine the rage is more causing her to not see, hear, or think at the moment. She's like this close to tarring and feathering a man.
Fair enough. I just look over the man and go, scarf up and bolt off the Fina. After collecting my arrows. Just had to let that ring out, you know? Just like unloading, yelling, and then she goes, okay, I'm done. Bye.
Hey, that's my favorite tree! And then you're just like,
Like, bye. Gotta go.
A really bad day.
You literally just do this.
He's like, it's like, hey, I'm gonna find where you live and put all my arrows into your trees.
Take me out of dinner first. Continue running.
He said, that wasn't a euphemism, you weirdo.
This is Dahlia, by the
Hard
way.
enough.
He just, yeah, you better get.
And I try to catch up with Dahlia with Fina.
And you just hear, fucking kids. As he goes back into whatever he was doing on the inside of his residence. All right.
I assume I can catch up to Fina since I'm like
Yeah.
running there.
I mean, she's got very long legs, but you should be able, if you double time it, you should be able very easily to just sprint in there, and catch up to her. Also, hello, Rudolph. I saw you say hello in the chat.
I just start poking her a little. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're a little bit out of breath because she's got real long legs, and you gotta like double time it to catch up to her, and like.
My speed is a bit faster than normal. It's
Yeah,
35.
yeah, but you gotta do a sprint. I mean, you're not winded,
Yeah.
but you're just like, just after you do a sprint, and you just,
Mhm.
if you're in tip-top shape, you'll even do a little, just a little
would not
loosen
have
up type of thing.
DM?
right.
You don't do a full sprint and then just slide in and go, hey.
Hey.
You're always, you're always a little bit, your heart's beating and that type of thing. Yes, Avalon.
Oh no, I was agreeing with Gabby about that whole not being in top shape thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, me too.
I catch up and I'm like, yeah. Hello?
Hey, DM.
Yes.
Scale of rage to confusion.
That's a good scale. That's my favorite scale, the rage to confusion scale.
When he was saying, throughout any of that, did she have any moments of like recognition?
I've been having you make intelligence checks, right?
I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, go ahead and make a general intelligence check. Just general intelligence. So, d20, add your intelligence modifier.
That is going to be 13 plus 1, 14?
You have a bit of a dull headache that starts to kind of creep up from your spine, and it's this throbbing pain, and almost just short of a migraine. And it's just... Oh, and before you leave, as Ko is filtering out, Darius says, I'm sorry, I have one here for you, MX Miliamne. And just another one of those invitations. Of course, it's very difficult for you to keep a low profile. Everyone knows where you are. I know where you are. Please behave yourself. Again, your parents desperately want you to return. I guess I am technically your ward here, so anything you need, please, don't hesitate to reach out to any of the liaisons here at Fort Phoenix. And also, in addition to this invitation from the Lord of Millicent Manor, whoever this strange person is, go ahead and take this. And he takes out a small silver, so it looks like a small silver coin, like a sigil. And it has sort of a, it has sort of two crossing blades and a dragon's head on it, and it's kind of like this coin-shaped silver medallion, and it has this dragon kind of wreathed in flames over these two blades. This will let individuals know that you're under my protection. And there's also a little crown on top of the dragon as well, but just kind of, its base is almost like a coin, and then there's that shape to it, and just hands that to you. I wouldn't want anything to happen to such a very important person, so please exercise caution.
Abuse that.
If something happens to you, I have to answer
Let's
to your
hope
mother.
Nothing happens to me, because it'll be on your head if anything does.
I like you. I like you.
It's gonna give him a dirty look and then go on my merry way.
So he hands you the same envelope that Harmony had, which is also personally addressed to you, inviting you to dine with Lord Artorias at Millicent Manor.
Am I allowed to bring my friends?
Absolutely.
Okay, good, because I'll be there. Well, cool. Terrible seeing you. Hope you have a bad day. Thank you for the note. Bye-bye.
Is Key caught up with the rest of the group now?
Probably would be. Probably would
Got
at
it.
least help. I don't know if the lovely lady who had issues there, if there was any way Key could just help her up and then put a gold in her hand and just.
She is kind of like semi-conscious, and she seems to be every time she looks at you, she's a little bit kind of shaken.
Just
or shook.
push the coin in her palm.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
sorry.
You help her up, and
Just as a sorry.
yeah, she just kind of looks at you, horrified, as you catch up. Joining the rest of the party as everyone is kind of dispersing, and Darius is just kind of standing at the intersection between the main road, Firewall Farm, and Fort Phoenix. You catch up, and he just kind of looks at you and kind of squints a little bit, and then just shrugs and goes back to his business. Kind of enjoying the weather, if you will. Doesn't seem to pay you too much mind. There's a little bit of a like an interesting, and then just goes back to what he's doing.
Pay no mind and just continue on to
Okay.
the group.
All right. Well, Heavensfire, the town of Fairhaven is yours to explore. What do?
First of all, I want to look at this invitation. I'm like, Harmony, let me see this invitation.
Okay.
There you go. And she will, oh god, she will hand it over.
Thank you so much. And I just like take like a nail and cut over the top.
Yes.
Do we need to acquire any special clothing or anything of the sort? Is this some sort of formal engagement that we should be prepared for?
Well, let's find out. And I open the letter. What is it? What's the
Yeah.
letter say? The invitation say?
The Lord of Millicent Manor formally invites you to dine with him regarding a matter of most importance on a global scale. I look forward to meeting your acquaintances. And then at the bottom there is a date. Tomorrow Eve, the second day of Oceantide. Tomorrow Eve, the second day of Oceantide at nightfall. And as you're leaving, the last thing Darius Essex says is, "Oh, happy Oceantide."
Happy Oceantide.
Happy Oceantide.
Oops.
So judging by the looks of this, it says we probably formal wear. especially since we're going
Yes.
to a manor of some sort. So, yes, I do believe we'll need formal clothes. I have formal clothes already, obviously.
Oh, Harmony, did you get paid from the last mission? Can't remember.
I don't think I did.
Okay. Alessia hands you a coin pouch. It's rather large, it's about this big.
Oh, it's big.
Inside, and she just kind of says, "That's your first bonus, 250."
Well, thank you.
There's a little extra for your wards, if you will.
Right. I'll be sure to split it between us.
250 for you and an extra 25 that we threw on top, just
Right.
miscellaneous expenses. That's what.
Right. He has money now.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Sugar mama?
And she just
Your girl.
Darius has an
What?
expectation that the bonus includes your normal stipends and to use it wisely to treat, I guess, your wards to whatever they need in the town. If you require more funds, just reach out to me and we can make sure that you're set up. I'll
Very
have to
kind
fill
of you,
out.
thank you.
I'll have to fill out a formal requisition, bring it to Darius, run it by the commander stationed at Fort Phoenix. It might be a bit of a project. I don't like doing paperwork, so if it can be avoided, be nice.
I'm not one to be too frivolous with money, so you'll have very little to worry about.
Congratulations on being the token employed person in the group.
For real.
I have a job, you guys.
She leans in and says, "Be very careful around the tall one.
Noted.
She is dangerous and she can kill you with the snap of her fingers. Just so you're aware."
That's very good information. Intel to know. I'll keep my eye out.
Just be careful.
Will do.
And, be nice to her, will you? Just be careful. And just whatever she needs. I'm sorry. Just carry on.
If you don't mind me asking, what is your prior relationship with the tall woman?
I'm afraid that information is classified.
She said her name was the Green Bitch.
Well, she
Yes,
didn't say her
serious.
name was the green bitch. She said that you could call her the green bitch.
Is there a difference?
Yes.
In either case, it's what would be used to refer to her.
Yes, but there's something different between a name and what someone calls you.
Indeed. Well then,
Don't know
we
that
shall.
there's some difference, but okay.
We shall take our leave. And I will take note on what you've told me so far.
Thank you.
Now Harmony's hella curious. Like, who are you? girl?
Yeah.
I want to believe Harmony takes notes with the same kind of pen Renee is currently using.
Yes.
Like, it's a weirdly fluffy and, like, cute pen.
Does Tina stop when Dahlia reaches up to her, or does she continue trucking? Is my question.
Where about would I be, Aaron, if I had just kept pretty anger marching away?
I'd say somewhere around here.
Alright, so Thena will 90-degree turn down here, behind this. What is this building I'm behind right now?
The building you are behind right now seems to be a simple residence.
Unfortunate for them. She is going to...
Oh, wonderful.
she's going to scream and just explode into a bunch of different flowers and probably like fall to the ground to like avoid punching something.
As you do from the window of this house, you see like a 50-something-year-old woman with a bandana around her head, just gonna swing the windows open and just get off my property! Go scream somewhere else!
Claire and Fina are terrorizing the locals.
Boy, I ain't your therapist. Go elsewhere.
Do we notice? Do the rest of us notice them just screaming?
It's
so
you
funny.
hear
This woman
Dahlia
just screams
screaming
back
and
at
then
you.
A bunch of thumps, and then Fina just screaming, just
Fina
like 2 minutes
screaming, it's
later.
I would imagine
no.
Spina is less scream and more like one of those, you know, those like real deep in your body anger,
Yeah.
like yell things. Yeah, one of those that like you kind of feel like you gotta throw up afterwards.
Yeah.
I really feel like we're glazing over the explosion of flowers. So, like,
Yeah, don't worry
as
about
we're
it.
walking into town, in the distance, there's just...
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. But she's like, I made it! I'll call the guard! Go have a breakdown somewhere else!
She looks at Thina covered in flowers, and this big ass green bitch and continues to speak. She doesn't immediately close her thing and be like, "Oh, you know what?
People are protective about their
There's balls on
houses.
this woman."
My favorite quote from this campaign is "Go have your breakdown
She heard
somewhere
about
else."
the guy who she was vandalized.
Dahlia's gonna try to give Fina a hug, whether or not Fina allows that. I don't know.
She's very
And, like,
upset.
Yeah, it's like also very upset, just try and comfort you while being kind of a mess. Herself, just in the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, that probably feels real good though. The like big scream and then a hug.
Yeah, right there.
No. Bugs Bunny. No.
Okay,
No.
okay. How about, right? Try talk this out. It's something Captain Brunga said it's good to do. What happened?
Captain Sprunga sounds like a very wise man.
He's not.
Then let's not listen to his advice and go into town and get the things we need.
Also some alcohol.
Yes.
Is a must.
I don't know if I drink. We'll see.
Find out. Okay. Question: opinions on traveling with the others we were traveling with before.
If they can find us again, sure.
There. How about we go look for them?
Why?
Could be useful.
You want to travel with the one he was particularly fond of? Who was he, by the way?
So I keep forgetting you're new to this. So
Actually, you know what? Stop. I don't give a shit about who he is. Who is she?
second in command.
Name?
Alessia Von Macht.
Aaron?
Yeah? What?
Is there any spark of recognition for that?
From the name.
Because I've been operating that she did not recognize either of these people.
Okay, so you're asking Dahlia
Dahlia,
what the name
who
was
the fuck are these people?
because you were dissociating, right?
Well, just because
A bit, or-
she didn't recognize them.
Okay.
She just
alright.
had
Or remember
was
their
going off
names.
of the feelings.
Okay.
She recognized them in the general sense.
So what you're asking is if the name sparks anything.
Yeah.
Make another intelligence check. Add your
Oh, no.
D20. Add your intelligence modifier.
Any help from
That's a
the
9.
Hmm. You roll it at advantage.
That's a 4.
It's one of those situations where you know, when someone says, "Do you know so and so?" and you're like, "Yeah, I do, but I
pulled a Harmony.
I know I do, but I can't put the name to at the face of the name. It's probably you just can't quite generate that synapse." But it's one of those things where you're like, no, it's not like, no, I never heard of her. It's like, I swear I know who she is, but I can't quite place her.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is all I really want to talk about right now. I've had a very big day. I'm very tired. I want to eat food and probably sleep.
That's fair. Just quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you recognize them at all? Any feelings like you got earlier?
Dahlia, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I almost killed that man.
I don't blame you. I had to stop myself.
I don't think I could. Maybe I could, but I don't know. I got real angry though.
It happens at time.
And I don't know who she is. But I think she's important.
She's second in command in this, like...
Yes. The Aer'ath Takal, the Dragonkeepers.
War criminals that just commit genocide, magic weapons, real bad people. They're... The guy, he's in charge of killing us. The remnants.
Dahlia,
Yes.
you don't think that he happens to know where the fort is, do you?
That very fort is terrifying me. I'm pretty sure if he did, we'd see the fire.
Thena's gonna look back in that area.
Is that a reasonable thought? From
Well,
what
if
I've
I
seen?
heard that
Is it a
big would
reasonable
probably be
thought?
noticeable.
Yes.
Cool. We don't see smoke in the sky, do we?
Make a
Thena's
perception
gonna
check.
turn and look in that area.
Both of
Can
you
we
make
both make it?
perception checks. Yep.
That is a 19, so 27.
Okay. 27
That
and
is a... Hold on. That's an 18 plus 6. 24.
you are confident that there is no smoke coming from the forest. However, you hear a cacophony of bells coming from the western reaches of the town, and as your attention is diverted there, you can see now that there is just a mass of ships coming in. Trade ships, military ships, merchant ships, smaller ships, and there are these huge streamers of blue and silver banners that have been laid out not just through the entire town, but all along the harbor and the docks, and they have these blue and silver banners. They have this electrified trident on them, and that is kind of like at an angle, with the tip of the trident facing to the right, the top right, and there are sort of just schools of fish embroidered on that sort of form a crest, sort of like this crest of fish, and there is sort of the jaw, the skeletal jaw of a shark that seems to be kind of open, that is the backdrop to this patterned design. So just the maw of a shark and the wreath of fish around it, and the trident that is that sort of overlaps this open shark's maw.
Aaron, is the economy of this kind of similar to real life, where that would have been one of the most expensive things that is on that ship, is that sail that is embroidered with all of this stuff?
So it's not. These are not sails. These are just banners that are like displayed and splayed out through the town, and there are some smaller versions of them, like streamers.
Okay.
Oceantide, yes, and they
Gotcha.
are they're everywhere. And there is the smell, both of you, the smell of sweet cooked fish and various different fish oil and seafood just wafts into your nostril from every corner of the town as you take a second to. There is you catch the smell of battered and fried fish, grilled fish, sweet fish, different every possible combination of seafood that you can possibly think of, and then that sort of drone of the crowd of voices seems to gather and rise as you see most of the people in town seem to be heading west towards the docks, where there appear to be various vendor stalls and tables set up by the docks ward, by the piers, and this appears to be an ongoing celebration of the holiday of Oceantide.
No, bullshit. I thought that's what you were gonna say. I almost shot myself.
Well, there, with your perception check, you can see that there seem to be some military ships among them, but not entirely uncommon. probably being repaired or had been delayed because of the tsunami. But there is also, in addition to this, there are also hundreds of individuals you can see in dozens upon dozens of smaller craft who are doing everything they can to clean up the last of the wreckage that Harmony had seen the day before, and the aftermath of this small tsunami that had struck the island. But the people here seem to have worked very industriously and very quickly, and you can see that there are, again, about a dozen piles of just splintered shipwood and metal that has been piled into different areas of the docks ward to the west. And even though the harbor is still being cleaned, the bells are being rung to symbolize the approach of other merchant vessels from the mainland who are celebrating Oceantide on the Isle of Halavas. What better place to have an Oceantide celebration than on an island?
Thena smells all of that fish and gags, and then like does the whole like 2 hands over the nose thing, and says, "Dahlia, do they serve food I can eat here?"
I hate fish as well. I'll find you something, don't you worry, dear.
Do you have another scarf I could borrow?
Yeah. She rips off hers. Puts it on you. And like tucks it nicely. The red might be a bit much, but you look very pretty.
Thena's going to give a little bit of a really strong kind of like sage lavender scent and then put it up over her face. I appreciate
It already smells very eucalyptusy.
Oh, perfect. Even better. And then Thena's going to, I assume, at some point throughout all of this, her hood has fallen. She's gonna fucking put that bitch back on. Ugh.
Should we go find the others? I am very curious. We need to know what they know.
I will follow you, Dahlia.
That same woman said, if going to find the others gets you to Getting, then yes, get off my property.
Thena is
You guys
going to
are
just
still on her
glare at this woman.
background.
Thena's gonna make direct eye contact and be like,
I just imagine.
Don't make me get my shotgun.
If she had one.
Huddled, like trying to comfort each other, think of a plan, and this woman's barking at us.
Do firearms exist in Valerian?
They do.
Good to
Thena
know.
is going to get up and start walking. But she is also going to maybe make some of the plants in this woman's yard die. As she dies! And she's going to,
Petty
say,
with a capital P. I love it.
Yeah, she is. She's mad. She's really mad. We can look for them, Dahlia, but if they cause more trouble, maybe curiosity will kill the cat.
Oh, by kill the cats, we're gonna kill them, if anything. Ko and Kia. Ko and Kia like.
Ko and Kia are very sweet, yes.
Nix, I like. Libby, like I'm just going down the list. It's like Libby, I like.
I like Libby.
She. That one we like. Harmony, I don't trust. I don't. If anything happens, she's the first to die.
No.
Come on.
We'll see.
That's fair.
By the way, was I speaking in a weird accent earlier? Like a different one?
I'm gonna be honest. Everyone's speaking in a weird accent to me.
It's D&D.
Fair.
Yeah.
As
Even with
you
Captain Bungus, you pick it up a little.
I can imagine.
as you start to shift a little bit to the east and kind of do a little bit of subtle plant magic, and some of the plants begin to wither. As you kind of begin to shift to the east, you just hear, "My begonias!"
Fuck you, bitch.
Talic 17 tarot card pull. All right, there we go. Thank you. All right, let's see what we got here.
Oh no.
Yes.
I may not
Chaos.
know my flowers, but I know a bitch when I see one.
That's me.
My begonias.
These aren't begonias, they're fucking marigolds.
Did Key introduce themselves to us last session? I don't remember.
Yes.
Oh.
I think we got I rewatched the whole session. Everyone got each other's names. Except obviously.
I'm pretty sure Ko introduced Key.
Yeah, Ko introduced Key, and Thena did introduce herself to everyone as Thena. but did not say
Let's
much
go.
else or look at anyone else.
We got all new roll tables.
Right.
I am afraid.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh. Well, I mean, it makes sense because he's right there. All right. Music cues. Tarot pulls.
I really want to fight something.
Will
All
you
right.
be accompanying us, Key?
Everybody roll a d20 for me. Everybody roll a d20.
19 for Libby.
It's a hot 11.
11
Okay.
for me too.
Seven.
That's 16 for Migs.
6 for Co.
That's a 9.
Same brain cell.
9 for Co. I'm sorry, I can't read.
Okay. All right. Who had the lowest?
Co had a 9.
I had a 7.
Okay.
7 the lowest?
7.
The one time I roll really high on this is the
Yeah.
one time it's not the highest number.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that does probably mean you did not want to roll low on this one.
Probably, yeah.
I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Knowing
It'll be
Aaron,
fine.
you don't
As-
want to be either end of the spectrum.
One of the first ships to dock, you can see, is there seems to have been a corridor that was opened for one ship in particular to dock, and as it does, and the rest of the merchant vessels and these private ships begin pouring into the harbor as the remainder of the debris is trawled over to the docks to be sorted and potentially reused. This is a Voskritorian man-o'-war. This is a military vessel, and as the bells stop, you hear a shout coming from the ship after it has successfully docked, and it's just, "Aer'ath, move it!" And you can see as the gangplank is lowered, there is just an outpouring of what appears to be not Marines, not roughnecks, but those muffled shouts where you couldn't quite make out what they were saying from the docks. You can see just a sea of silver and red as formal soldiers begin pouring out from this man-o'-war, in addition to the various Marines that would be stationed on such a ship. But this seems to be a ship that has been carrying soldiers, and a large number of them as well, and there's about 3 more other vessels behind it. So, Talix, you pulled the 6 of Adversaries card. So there are...
That bodes well.
Well, actually,
Can't
that
wait.
means there are... incoming, there is what appears to be 1 additional man-of-war, 3 ships of the line, and 1 galleon. All flying Voskritorian military colors.
Dahlia, that can't be good.
Fina. Can we get to the city gates, please?
Are we not in the city right
You
now?
you are in the city. Yes,
Like,
so
like the ones that they would need to cross, go to the fort, and I just run there and drag Fina behind me.
I mean, you can drag Thena behind you. She is a stick.
Because I am terrified these mofos are heading to the fucking fort. I will cry.
Look, we also sent this Quicksilver troop to the fort, so...
Yeah, I'm dragging Fina behind me, and I'm assuming we'd, like, pass by the rest of the party.
Are we heading back towards fucking Darius?
He's pissed off in somewhere else.
No, he hasn't!
Is he still standing there? Get a life, homie.
no, he was waiting for all of y'all to like disperse, and then as you do, he gives the letter to Ko, the letter to Harmony, and after that, Alessia and Darius do make their way back to the fort.
Oh,
Yeah, so,
before that, sorry to interrupt,
That's okay.
because Harmony would have mentioned this,
Yes.
but she would ask Darius if it was okay to spare a few men to go and help with I can't remember where the bridge was,
Oh yes,
but
it
the
was.
guardsman did ask. So,
Okay. Go ahead.
Darius,
He stops and yes, Harmony.
it appears that I as a player can't remember what it's called, the bridge that we all met up on.
I think it was just the South Bridge.
Oh, okay.
I
Cool.
don't think it had, or the Bridge of Fair Haven or Fair Passage. I don't think it has a actual name.
name.
Yeah,
Cool.
just the Southern Bridge, the Akershorn Bridge.
Okay.
Yep.
One of the guardsmen by the Akershorn Bridge has asked for some additional men. I wasn't sure if you could perhaps spare a few.
He smiles and laughs, and I can spare more than that, Harmony. Don't worry, they'll get their reinforcements.
Thank you kindly.
Not from the fort, though. A little bit of patience. And you can hear kind of simultaneously the bells ringing from the far western side, and he goes, "Ah, wonderful. There they are. Perfect timing." And just kind of taps you on the shoulder and gives you a bit of a wink. I think you're going to find this very interesting. Carry on.
Ko's gonna shout as I'm walking away, be like, also, there's a gentleman at the bridge that needs some boots.
Noted.
Bill it to my mother.
Bill it to my mother.
Unfortunately, Ko, you do not have a tab.
Darius, does it look like I give a fuck?
Send my mother the
I'm
bill.
too
It's
rich
fine.
to care.
Yes.
Make it happen.
If you
I just like to imagine your mum waking up to a bill from Darius for boots. Just randomly.
I will add it to the formal docket. I assume there will be more than a few pairs of extra boots kicking around over the next 24 to 48 hours.
That bodes well. I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it's nothing.
I think they may be frozen.
Oh, they're gonna kill us.
So, does that, after that, Darius and Alessia just continue walking, unless you had other questions, Harmony?
Nope, that's all.
Okay. Yeah, so he just gives you a smile and a bit of a salute, and stops and... Might and Majesty.
Damn it, I forgot.
He doesn't seem too concerned. It was more of a fun thing that he just a quick. He's like, "Oh, right, Might and Majesty," as he carries on.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And then as you guys are like walking into town, you see Dahlia and the Dragon Fina behind, like back towards where you guys were coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. They like, is it like trying to get the hell out of Dodge, or is it like a just I need to pee and run?
It's a like I am running for my life, and Dahlia and Fina is just being dragged behind, and then like I stop right in front of you guys, like, the fuck did you do? Pointing at Harmony, not knowing what's going on.
Typically, if someone likes to blame me for something, I at least want some evidence to be put forth. Why?
I don't. Feel free to blame Harmony for anything.
Thank you, Migs.
Of
Where is
course.
this supposed to be stationed?
Pardon?
Where are they to be stationed?
Where are who to be stationed?
Soldiers coming in right now.
She kind of.
You have no
whoa.
idea. This is genuinely the first you are hearing of this.
Didn't Darius just...
Well, technically the
mean-
second, but you just heard of... He was alluding to something like just now, but other than that,
idea.
that's the first. This is the second you've heard of it. So like Darius mentioned something. You saw the soldiers came in 10, 15 seconds later. While you're still processing, like, what? Dahlia runs over and is like, what's going on? And you're like, yeah, okay, if that makes sense, yeah.
Listen, I think you misunderstand my influence and importance. Darius calls the shots. So if he wishes to call in troops and bring in whoever he brings in, that has nothing to do with me.
Yes, Harmony is actually rather unimportant in the grand scheme of things.
So you know nothing.
Also in the small scheme of things as well. Just pretty insignificant.
I mean, I must be significant enough to draw your attention, Migs.
Well,
You seem
I'm
ever so
forced to
obsessed
be
with me,
here.
darling.
I'm forced to be here. May as well take advantage of it.
Hmm.
Dahlia, maybe more moving, less talking?
Where?
What seems to be the problem, Miss Dahlia?
Green bitch.
Oh, yeah, Green
bitch.
Bitch. Yes.
Weren't we introduced with their names earlier?
Yes.
Yes.
You are.
Athena.
Yeah. We know
Probably
that her name is
something.
Athena.
You can totally be
Literally,
like,
like,
okay,
20
green bitch, but you can also,
Yeah.
you know Athena in the back of your mind.
Literally like 20 minutes ago.
But you can totally play into the green bitch if you want.
I'm playing into the Green Bitch. I like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
it's nice. It's very got a lot of largesse to it.
Oh yeah, it's the moniker she was given from the Roughnecks, and she is going to claim it till she decapitates the one who gave it to her.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
That was it. Iris LeBron,
That's
you're
dope.
dying. Okay.
Okay.
You have no idea what this station's? Really nothing.
No idea.
Just desperation in her face.
You do notice the colors, and you probably have about the same assessment based on the different announcing horns, the bells that are being rung, and from what you can see just from looking off into the bay, the harbor, from across the field to the east. 2 man-o-wars, 3 ships of the line, and 1 galleon.
Would Harmony be able to estimate the number of men?
Well,
That would
first of
be coming
all,
in.
the first thing you know is that man-o-wars are a big deal. They have enough firepower to level an entire port city with just
Oh
one.
no.
They have 3 rows of cannon decks, and they are all, I think, the half-pounders, the big ones. And they also have experimental mortars on them. That is sort of a new project the Roughnecks have been that the Navy has been working on specifically is high yield black powder mortars that have a much longer range, and they have been deployed on the man-o-wars specifically. And there's 2 of them. Each man-o-war, if you are stationing soldiers in them, can carry comfortably probably about maybe a platoon or so. In Voskritorian terms, maybe about 50 fully armed soldiers for 1 man-o-war.
On one. Okay.
Yep. That's in addition to the normal retinue of sailors and seamen and naval officers. And a galleon might be able to hold about 30 to 35 or so. And ships of the line can probably hold a couple of, probably a squadron of about 15 to 16 each. A little bit tighter on the ships of the line. There's not much extra room. But I think altogether you're probably looking at about 150 soldiers. 150 to 200 soldiers.
Yes. Whatever it is you're panicking about, there's incoming 150 estimated soldiers. For what purpose? I know not. Darius is a mysterious figure.
mysteriously alive, I think.
Right.
I think not.
Is Ko still right there too?
Are
Ko
they?
is definitely just grumbling.
Oh, yeah, we ran into all of them. They're all together now.
Ko is throwing.
This would be like not at all the amount of men. Would this be around the men that would be used to, like, say, take out a fort from previous experiences?
Let's see.
I suppose. Possibly?
I'm gonna look it up right
Fina.
now.
Fina, slap me,
Yeah.
please. Slap me, dear. Slap me.
No. I'm not into
Have
that.
you... Are you familiar with attacks on forts, Harmony?
Am I familiar with attacks on fort?
Oh, I stand corrected. I'm
Ooh.
sorry to all of our naval viewers. The correct estimate of crew is... Let's see. You're adding
afraid.
extra, who are also potentially... if you're acting at reduced capacity, or if you have people who are cross-trained, or if you're using more Marines, that would be probably closer to 750 men.
Beg your pardon. I got my numbers mixed up. A 1 and a 7 are quite similar. Close to
Sorry.
700? No, you're fine.
750. Now that's if you can see formal military soldiers, and you know that they can fit probably about 950 sailor seaman crew on a man of war. So if they're operating at not quite minimum, they don't usually do that in the Navy. If they're operating with about 700, that's an additional 250 that they can stow as soldiers. So if 250 times 2 plus between the 3 ships of the line and the galleon, you consider roughly, possibly, maybe another 250 or so. So you're looking at about 750 Vosquatorian soldiers, foot soldiers. It's a lot.
How pale does Dahlia get?
Like, she looks young. In that moment, she looks 240 human standards. Her eyes just
no.
sink in, and she's... Yeah, Dahlia,
750 is you being generous.
Generous.
They probably could, if they wanted to, they could fit over 1,000 soldiers in those 6 ships.
that would be like, just by general standards.
Mm-hmm.
Too many just for a simple
Overkill.
fort?
It's overkill for a fort.
Yeah, but it would be Vascatorian for that to be overkill, right?
It's very... Overkill is what they do.
Cool.
Very militaristic.
You seem ever so concerned, and I have, for a local, very little idea why.
War is not good for the plants.
War's
I
not
would
good
argue
for
that-
anything.
Very.
I would argue that war isn't good for anything. I agree. You stole the words out of my
Harmony.
mouth. Damn it, Harmony.
Hey, Harmony, I was thinking now would be a good time to go visit our old friend, the horse seller.
Well, you do
Bob?
have the entire town
We have
before
money
you.
now.
You have money. You have the whole town is open before you. You have an invitation tomorrow evening to attend a dinner with the Lord of Millicent Manor and Harmony. You do still have with your device that you have that sort of magical guidance that you can use as a compass, a magical device to point you in the direction of that source of magical energy that seems to be that seems to have the same signature as a divinous crystal on it, or that same type of magic.
Okay.
Yes, question.
So, you know how I was sent to just do a simple errands day? And the captain told me that the people I'm buying things from could get the supplies there themselves. and they were trusted allies.
Yes,
Right.
you do have a few allies in town. Yep.
Do I know of any trusted messengers that could get there real quick?
I would say yes. Let me look at the map here and see who we have available.
We need to start investing in fucking bunkers. I'll bring you up in the next board meeting at the Rebels. For the Rebels board meeting.
I thought you were talking to me for a second, and I was like, wait, huh?
Specifically,
Board meeting for what?
you have contacts, but you know that Katia Saras, of Katia's Second Skins, she's the tanner. She can probably set you up with someone who can deliver a message. She is, as you know, the most sympathetic to your cause. So again, that name is... I wrote the name of the business, but I have to actually write her name out. Katia, Katia, Sorhas, Soras. Katia Soras. And she is the proprietor of Katia's Second Skins. Fine leathers, furs, and hides. She also runs an axe-throwing recreational circuit on the side.
Okay, cool. Do we have a place to meet up? She says, talking to the party.
There is the Ebbtide Tavern. There is the Lone Dragon Inn. Other than that, those are the two taverns. Everything else is a private residence or a business. But I mean, you have... I don't think any of y'all asked, but you have a whole town here with plenty of businesses.
Which one
locals.
is not the tavern that the Quicksilver?
Yeah, I look
sorry.
over at Key and Co. They had mentioned.
The Dragon's Tail was where you were at. So your best bet is to go to the Ebbtide Tavern.
We will not be going to the Dragon's Tail then.
Very
I'm
well.
sorry.
The Ebbtide Tavern is actually, is friendly to the Rebellion.
Oh, okay.
So you know some of the locals, and the Ebbtide Tavern specifically. And we go back down to the notes.
Thank you. I'm trying to get as much information as I can, because I need to play my cards right.
The Ebbtide Tavern is run by Tavern Keep Erica Bumblepot.
Incredible name.
Outstanding.
That-
10 out of 10.
I love it.
Nelly came up with that name, so she'll be very happy to hear that you are enjoying the last name or the surname of Bumblepot. Tavern Keep Erica Bumblepot is a burly, muscular, half-orc woman. She's tough and she doesn't take shit from anybody. She runs the tavern with her gender-fluid husband.
Nice.
Perfection.
How about
Her
we
gender-fluid
meet at
elvish
the
husband who has an incredible knack for fashion sense.
Nice.
I know where we're getting our party clothes.
Yeah, definitely. How about we meet at the tavern in like an hour or two? Fina and I have some shopping to do.
Cole also wants to go shopping for clothes.
It's not that kind of shopping, dear.
Well, if
I didn't-
you're
I'm gonna go
going,
with you.
He
you're going shopping.
literally
We need to
feels some
take-
sort of like, I gotta make sure this one doesn't get kidnapped again, and is literally just sticking to Ko.
We need to get Libby some formal wear, so we should probably go shopping as well.
I
Do you have
will
formal
also
wear,
need formal
Harmony?
well. Yes.
We'll also need to make a trip back to our ship, because that's where all my things are.
Is there something wrong
Right.
with what I'm currently wearing?
It's not formal, dearie. However, it is gorgeous.
Well, thank you. Do you have ideas on something that would be formal and would look good on me?
Well, we could get you in a dress.
She tilts her head, seems to think for a second. I suppose that would work.
Or we could go
Truthfully, I
for
would
something
I would-
more masculine if you'd wish.
I don't know that I consider the
We can try 100 of options for you.
Yes, we'll just have to find somewhere that has fancy clothing. And
I default to your
also,
judgment.
I would love to find a post office. I need to post a letter to my superiors.
Will we be
It's-
staying in the city for the evening? And perhaps leaving for the manor tomorrow?
Yes, the party is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes. At like 1 p.m.
I would
we
like
could
to
get there,
find...
right?
Yeah. Where did it say that the manor was again?
It's on the map, actually, if you zoom out.
It's up on a huge plateau to the right. You can see it just looming there like a specter. It's enormous.
Darius said it was about half a day's walk,
Yep.
so...
Well, it's probably more like, it'll probably take you about an hour. So a lot less than that.
Okay.
So it's about an hour
Okay.
walk.
So leave at noon-ish from the tavern. Wherever we're staying, we can get there on time.
But it's not until tomorrow. So.
Yeah,
I thought it was at nightfall.
Tomorrow night, tomorrow evening. It is on the invitation.
Yeah, why is it at 1 p.m.? Why are you thinking 1 p.m.? That's the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah. So tomorrow at
My
nightfall.
notes say Manor dinner, 1 p.m. Why?
I don't. Yeah. Well, also
You're wanting lunch. It's fine.
because you're technically a local who's been to town a couple of times, Dahlia. That we did establish that you've been in back and forth between.
Yeah.
Okay, just to like investigate, kind of blend in, get a lay of the land. So Dahlia, you know that Madame Rayla Marsh is the tailor of the sewing circle here in town, where you can get fine clothing and embroidery. She is neutral, not necessarily someone who is an ally, but someone who puts business and patrons, customers above any sort of political affiliation. So a safe bet, but you probably shouldn't say too much to Madame Rayla.
Just won't hand me to the guards by looking at me.
Right.
Essentially.
Yep.
Cool.
We should get the shopping done early. I suspect we might need some tailoring. She looks
Yeah.
down at herself and just sort of like looks over at the party and of its weird shapes and sizes.
Athena is literally stood there, kind of outside the group, slightly shaking, so fucking confused at what you guys are doing. She's like, "Are we not gonna go try and save people? Are we? What is the
I'm
fuck?"
working on it. I'm working on it.
She's not saying any of this out loud. She's just staring
Yeah.
at the back of Dahlia's head, like,
Libby doesn't know there are people that need saving, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not
pretty
gonna
much
find
the
out.
only ones who know are you and Dahlia.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying that she thinks the rest of you guys are having a weird conversation. She is about to pick up Dahlia.
Alright, oh, Dahlia, you have been in town before. Do you know if there's a post office anywhere here?
Is there a post office? Should I send them to Katia Saras?
So there
Is
is
there
a formal post. There is a
Yeah.
formal post, which I believe is here somewhere. And if it's not, I'll label it. I don't see it. So it's this
just
building
walk
right
over to
here.
Uh-huh.
'Cause it's got
Which
like
one?
3 tiers. It's over here.
Oh,
So
this
they
one?
so they have the main building, and over here there's sort of like iron bars where you step up to the counter and you can do your business. And back here is sort of the sorting area where they send out some of the posts. So
after
that
we've
is
done our shopping,
yes.
if we have time, I would like to see the library. I don't sleep, so I could perhaps do some research. It has been quite some time since I've been in the world.
Do you need a
That would be
formal
useful,
post
yes.
office or something else?
Can you repeat that, please?
Yes.
Wait.
Oh, I was just seconding that to please repeat.
Oh, look over to Max. It's like, do you need a formal post office or something else?
Formal.
Yeah, it's probably on the way. I'll take you there.
Ah, wonderful.
I look over to Fina and say, change of plan. Hopefully this will work out better. I'll let you know when they're not here. Right, dear?
Dahlia,
Yes.
maybe I will just figure out what I like to drink.
Stick with me for a bit, please.
All right. I have nothing better to do. Actually, I have nothing else to do, apparently.
Other than
Is
survive.
everything okay? Is everything okay? You seem terribly worried.
Tina's gonna look at Libby for a second, and then just give her a very sweet smile, and is like, "I really like you. You're very sweet."
Are y'all in town, or are you all still by?
We're in town-ish.
I imagine we're walking.
Like on the edge of town.
Okay, all right. I was gonna ask if you were still on this guy's property, who you filleted his favorite tree with arrows.
No.
Okay.
All right. Harmony, darling, do you mind if I go off with our new friends, Dahlia and Miss Bitch?
Whilst it may be suitable, I think we should all perhaps stick together. I mean, if we're all going.
I feel like if we're all
shopping.
doing our own thing.
Yes,
if we're all
but
going
we're
shopping
going to get.
separately.
Listen, I have 3 pages worth of notes for this town, so wherever you want to go, there's a spot for it. Okay, so we got time. We got all kinds of fun stuff to do.
I figure it'll be faster if we all split up.
I agree.
Are we in a hurry? Do we need to be fast? It's only like late morning, right, DM? Like it's not even noon yet, is it?
I believe so.
I thought it was later.
It's
Because wasn't it afternoon or later whenever Dahlia and Thina left that forest?
Yeah, isn't it like afternoon?
It's
How
at least
is this?
it's like getting close to evening.
So
or
it
should
is.
be at
It
least.
is the first. Well, we know it's the first day of Oceantide. The time is. You tell me. Is it like
I
closer
think
to
it's
2
around
o'clock?
like 4 or 5.
All right, yeah, we'll say 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's early spring, so you get about until 7 and 7:38. Okay, so we have a tarot card pull from a patron, Isabeth, and our new moderator. So thank you, Isabeth.
If you guys get my
Tarot pull incoming.
I swear.
I would nothing.
Only if Aaron keeps pulling adversaries.
Please stop. I refuse to roll. Dahlia's had a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have.
She's losing it.
On the outskirts of the town, from Fort Phoenix, you hear an alarm bell start to ring. And you hear, "Watch out!" And you see from the east a large boulder just an impact into the side of the fort. And then you hear sort of a shout from the fort as this alarm bell starts to echo. Giants!
Not our problem.
Not our problem. I say fuck that.
Yeah, fuck them.
Let's
And
go
you see
shopping.
kind of emerging
Let's
Y'all-
go shopping.
emerging from the woods,
Not our
closer to
problem.
this side over here, right in the middle, what appears to be a large hill giant that just runs out of the woods and makes a beeline for the farm here.
People could get hurt.
Oh,
That is an
Alright, I think
that
we
is-
should get the
Keep.
fuck out of Dodge.
He wants
So,
them chicken and eggs.
that is an inverse Isabits the giant.
Yeah, we're going shopping.
yeah, let's roll.
Let's get out of here.
Don't
Libby
worry,
looks-
And
Libby.
the giant
Getting
is
green bitch. The green
making
bitch. We're
a
going
beeline
shopping.
over to the chicken farm.
Libby.
Libby looks to Harmony
This guy's not
expectantly.
having a good day.
So
This farmer.
yes,
Should we
you just
try to
hear
intervene?
you hear what? Because I love that TikTok guy. All right, so that's actually a good opportunity to take a break. So we're gonna take a 10-minute break, everyone. So go
Thank you, 10.
hydrate or die straight. Bio break, whatever you need. So 12:03. Scrambled eggs. Hey, you know what? My favorite trope of giants is that they run in just to steal livestock. That is my absolute favorite trope. So
Let them
12:03
eat chicken
a.m.
and eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, absolutely
Right-
not our problem.
Right now, this giant's plan, he threw a boulder at the fort, right, as hard as he possibly could. There's like 2 others in the woods there, and there's sort of like a large hill that kind of goes up and goes back down, where there is a watchtower, and sort of a lot of sort of rocky outcroppings and difficult terrain there. But on the other side, it kind of rolls back down and then up towards the plateau, where there is a huge thicket of pine trees. Right now, this giant seems like he's just gonna go and try to grab a chicken coop.
Are Darius and Alessia still in the fort?
Yes.
Did they get squish?
God, I hope so.
Could we be
Can
so
we-
lucky?
Can we roll a luck check to see if they got squished?
Unfortunately, a luck check is not part of the system that we built in. So,
Damn.
all right. So we'll see y'all back at like 12:03, 12:05 ish. 12:05. There we go. All right, and we'll be back after these messages. We're gonna run a quick ad break. So, Isbits, I am very happy you pulled that card because, well, stuff is gonna happen. We have stuff happening.
When
Does it
doesn't
have
stuff
to
happen?
though? Does the stuff have to happen?
I do
Okay.
like that we have spent like so many hours in just this one spot of the town.
We've just been
It's
hanging out.
insane.
Yeah.
It's our favorite spot, guys.
Renee, your
It's
camera.
Oh, Renee, your
small
camera.
small pieces of shiny cardboard keep being mean to us.
Oh,
That's
you're
why
good.
we can't move.
Okay.
Your camera was like glitching out. It was wild.
Oh no.
It started at the
fixed.
top.
All right. We need.
Your camera wants to go to sleep too.
So yeah.
Who says I want to go to sleep?
1
Yeah, it's only
1
PM.
p.m. 1 p.m. EST is usually like our normal. That's like our normal end time. So.
What if
1
we just
p.m.,
do
right?
1
1
p.m. it is.
1
Wow.
We go
Yeah,
all the
honestly,
way
that's
12 more
until
hours.
1.
Yeah.
13 more hours. Let's go.
Sign me up.
Let's
Oh.
go.
I'm sorry, you guys didn't sign up for the 12-hour stream? It was
did.
clearly in the guide.
Oh man, I missed that memo that it was this week.
Well, since we
Yeah.
started around like 9ish,
Fred!
since we started around like 9ish, that means
I was about to
if
say.
we end at 1 p.m. That's
Don't have me back
significantly
to-
more than 12 hours.
Yeah, it's like 16. It's like
It's
16
several-
hours.
it's like 20 hours.
Aaron, this is gross.
many.
These are gross little
These are
blob
tight.
men.
Are these
These
tight?
blob men.
Hello, Blobbert.
All right, I'm gonna go to the post office and completely not
Yeah,
deal with any of
I'm
these.
piecing out.
Thena and Dahlia literally couldn't help if we wanted to.
Yeah, we've been beat to
Good.
shit today. Twice.
Twice.
3 times if you count the tsunami.
Megs
Okay.
honestly just couldn't care less. She's like, I'm not from here. Like, why should I care if giants are fucking attacking this town? Doesn't matter to me.
We've been beat to shit like 3 times fucking today. We're not dealing with giants. I'm gonna give Smuggle a letter to warn Captain Brenda.
Libby is looking to Harmony for guidance. She's supposed to be like Harmony's little second, so like she's expectantly looking at Harmony.
Yeah, Harmony is watching Fort Phoenix just to see if anything's going to happen whilst I
Yes.
look at her
Okay.
possible spell list.
Make a perception check for me. And also, let me know what your passive is one more time.
My passive's 10.
Okay. All right, go ahead and make a perception.
Libby's passive is 15, if that matters.
So that's 14.
Yeah, okay. So you see like a little bit of a glint of silver from the ramparts here. Just like a flash. And then you see a figure as this is happening. As this giant is making a beeline. Oh, come on, Probot. So this giant, it's
didn't
just
see
making
that.
a beeline towards the farm, and it gets about halfway across the field as it just. What are y'all doing?
Can I get within like 60 feet of it?
Yes, you can.
I would like to cast command
Okay.
and order it to flee. So just like
Nice.
Libby steps forward, pulls out her reliquary, and she just in a weirdly resonant voice. Like, it's not loud per se, but it has a sort of echo to it that's unexpected given that she's in an open field.
Okay.
She just goes, "Flee!"
All right.
Just
as
really,
it's-
like, super clearly.
Yeah. Okay. So Libby starts making a beeline to intercept it. Hydrate, by the way. Thank you. Hydrate or die straight.
I just ate something, so I can't. Sorry.
Command is a wisdom saving throw.
I believe so, yes. I accidentally closed out my sheet. I'll give you the DC in a sec.
Okay.
That is a 13.
DC 13.
Yeah, DC 13 wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Roll 2 15s. -1, so 14.
Bah.
So it does kind of just keep moving forward as it just kind of and kind of shout something at you in giant, as it just, these two over here are eagerly at the edge of the fort as this one just continues to make a beeline, gets about here in between the residences and is continuing to make its way. But as it's happening, you can see sort of a glint of silver, Harmony, that just you can see a figure kind of just jump straight off the ramparts down onto the ground and just kind of slowly, kind of almost quickly, but it's like a trick of the eye. You're like, what the fuck? They kind of just not quite levitate, but literally just fly down to the ground.
Cameras are
Cans are
frozen, Aaron.
That's dope.
What's happening?
Camera's frozen.
Oh, okay. And you can
let's
see
specifically
Because I
talk about
wasn't.
it.
Because
I
I
wanna
wasn't
talk
on the
about how-
floor.
Gabby said, "Elle, were you on the floor?" So I switched over to the stream, and we got to see your little head pop up and then grow out like best timing.
I watched
Okay.
Elle go down, and I saw their head, and I was like, "Are you on the floor?" And they went, "What?"
So, no.
Cams are good now, Aaron.
Okay, all right. So as this hill giant is kind of stomping, you hear kind of like these panic shouts coming from the town. Some of the townsfolk are quickly shuttering their doors and screaming, and you can see this figure that basically flew down off the ramparts and kind of hit the ground and is just running full sprint towards the hill giant. As the hill giant now kind of stops in a panic and kind of looks at all of you and just kind of lets out a roar, this screaming roar at all of you, and kind of begins to make his way around this farmhouse. What are the rest of y'all doing? Yes, this other character is just kind of sprinting. Make a perception check, because it's like kind of across an open field. It's just kind of like a speck, a flash of black right now.
Can I shoot it and then just continue walking into town?
You totally can.
Can I just go into town?
Yeah, you totally can. People are kind of, you can see people in
17.
town kind of panicking and running further in, so you can totally just go with the crowd. Who was making the attack roll, by the way?
Me.
Oh.
That was a 21 to hit.
Okay, yeah, 21 definitely hits as Dahlia takes the bow and fires it at the giant.
Athena rolled a 17 to perceive the figure running across the
17. Yes, it looks kind of with, you can see now the half mask, and it does appear to be Alessia as she's making her just like sprinting across the field. But as you look a little closer, make another perception check, Athena.
That was 14 damage, by the way.
That one was worse, but it's a 13.
13. Okay. Yeah, it's her feet are a little bit of a blur as she's making her way. And you can see like occasionally she just kind of leans forward and her speed seems to increase like as she's making her way across the field. The giant kind of stops as the arrow, that changes things. The arrow kind of and just kind of tries to rip it out. How much damage from the arrow?
14.
Okay. All right. And as you all, the rest of you kind of join a few panicked civilians and running further into town.
Tommy will.
Come on, Harmony.
Oh boy.
She
I
winks.
didn't want to get myself dirty today, but I suppose I'm going to. And she is going to. I've never done this. She's going to step forward towards the creature and like extend her hand, and there is this. You guys know Mystique from like X-Men? There is this ripple to her skin, similar to the effect of when Mystique changes, form, and her scales seem to like spread further across her body like an infection. And it just, these lightning scars go through her, and as she extends her hand, it kind of like coalesces around the giant as she does a Hexblade's curse.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
It's just gonna and you see these sparks of electricity and this kind of band wraps around it as the scales on Harmony also begin to shimmer and spark. And it is now hexed with a Hexblade's curse.
And she just kind of throws her hand out, and there's this glimmer as if like particles of glass are collecting together, and it forms this purple, almost colored, tinted blade that has two coalescing dragons wrapped around the hilt. And she runs in.
Okay. All right.
Slash.
Everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh no.
Aww. I just wanted to go
Initiative,
close
we can
mail.
just peace out. We can peace out on initiative, friends. Just saying.
Initiative's going to be the only thing that I roll on here.
That's what I was just telling Ember.
Yeah.
I think I clicked on my character token first. Who knows?
My initiative always fucking sucks in this game.
Oh, and I'm sorry. It's the I got my special forces organizations mixed up. Darius Essex, and Alessia Von Macht, are with the Aer'ath Takal. The Veloth Telvas are the Queen's Blades, sort of the Queen's elite. The Aer'ath Takal, the Dragonkeepers, are more of sort of like special forces field operations.
War criminals.
Both of them, actually, technically.
DM, can I use my inspiration from our session 0 to reroll my initiative?
If you'd like, absolutely.
I'm saving my inspiration from our session 0.
Same. Did we all get? How many people got inspiration?
Oh,
on
this is
session
going to
zero?
be fun. This
Libby
is going
does
to be
not
awesome.
have inspiration currently.
I think 3 of us then.
I rolled some cleric initiative. I'm at the bottom.
I got my inspiration from telling the kidnappers to that Ko said no and to leave them alone.
I got my inspiration for using my brain and actually strategizing. And Erin was like, wow, I didn't know she could do that. I'm pretty sure is what happened.
We got stuff going on here.
Did we put the level up?
Okay. As she kind of just sprints forward, you can see Alessia as the giant kind of tries to determine whether or not to attack all of you or to just grab the chickens. In that moment, with Harmony drawing the blade and with Dahlia firing an arrow at long range, which sticks into its shoulder, which it has to stop to rip out and reassess, you can see doing that full sprint, almost like superhero run, with like the like the arms out, and she seems to flash a couple of times on her way over to the situation. And at that last second, you see her just kind of, she keeps like double timing forwards and poofing, and as she does, she gets a little bit closer, and a cloud of smoke and appears. And as she does, she kind of digs into the ground and power slides but another 10 feet forward, and you can see, you know what's happening, Harmony, that sort of same sort of wrist amplifier that she has, which is more just like a brown leather glove. It's got the pointer finger and the thumb exposed, and it has like these metallic rods around it that seem to whir and create extra power. She kind of gets closer and does that power slide. She kind of takes her hand, and she's got a little focus in the center of her palm, and it begins to glow with red energy. Just and as she power slides, she takes her hand, and you can see the mask now begins to glow over the eye as well. And she just kind of lets out a little bit of a battle cry at this thing as this thing looks right at her and roars. But as she does, you can see this energy coalescing in her palm, and it just and this beam of light just shoots straight out of her palm and into this giant.
That's so cool.
Damn, Fina has a very strong wife.
We don't know who this is.
Yeah.
I have my
Fina is
theories.
watching her to see if she can fucking figure this lady out. Like, Fina does the thing where, like, the person's, like, off in the background of the scene, and then, like, before the person, like, turns around and sees them, they've already walked off.
Mhm.
As this beam strikes the giant, you just hear the giant let out a shriek of pain as the flesh just begins to burn as this beam and it kind of carves up and through the giant and just continues onto the horizon before it eventually fizzles out. And it kind of cuts a hole in this giant up through the neck, and as it lets out this roar of pain, it just begins to inhale in as it now begins to like separate into two pieces. And it slowly, the scream and the inhale just stop as it kind of, and it's like this shifting of matter sound as its hand kind of reaches up, and the flesh just very quickly begins to burn and almost ignites at the last second before it just kind of drops to one knee, and the flesh just begins to turn to ash. And after about 15 seconds of this, the body just begins to crumble into ash, and there is just this enormous pile of ash on the ground where this giant once stood. You can see these devices on her arms. One of them is smoking, and they just kind of lift up for a second and move and rotate into another place, and you see her lock another one into position and look over at the forest edge, the eye glowing red, and she just and turns towards the forest, and you can see these other two hill giants just and just start to book it for the hills. And she just kind of slowly starts to walk in that direction.
Ever impressive.
Hot.
Well,
For the record.
Very.
Very.
that sorts that.
Renee and I are very much same brain cell half the time.
Just like, hot.
Yeah.
Aaron, we have a redemption in the chat, by the way.
Amethyst, all right. Thank you,
Libby moves
Isabeth.
towards the farm to see if anyone is hurt or anything like that.
Harmony is gonna make the same motion she did to summon her sword. And that kind of crackling electricity that buzzed through her kind of slowly fades as she exhales.
All
right.
Eyeing Harmony very closely.
So what are you doing, Harmony?
What's up, baby? No, I was just saying that Harmony dismisses her,
Okay.
her Hexblade's curse. Yeah.
It's actually pretty cool to see her get the sword ready and then just kind of flick it up and like she doesn't need to use it quite yet. And I imagine you do a little flourish and it kind of just sparks and the blade kind of disappears back into the magical scabbard, that sort of extra dimensional space as it just shimmers and flickers out of existence.
Yeah.
And just very casually, little hair flip.
Oh, you beat me to it, yeah.
Yeah.
just yeah, fabulous.
All right, so Amethyst Redemption. Everybody roll a d20. The Amethyst, a random player.
17.
I got a 20.
17.
19.
16 for Libby.
16 for me as well.
8.
I think the
Okay.
highest was Gabby at 20.
Gabby, Roll a d4 for me.
Do I have to?
Yep.
1.
You gain +5 temporary HP,
Nice.
thanks to the activation of an amethyst crystal from Isabitz.
Wow.
Can
What?
you please go to the post office?
Yeah, can I take advantage of this chaos and Harmony fully not paying any attention to me to just sneak off into the crowd?
With Dahlia, I'm assuming?
Sure, I can
Also, Coach.
tap
is
Dahlia.
missing.
I'll tap Dahlia and Thena as I head out, but like I'm trying to like avoid Harmony. I'm basically trying to get the fuck out.
If you want to avoid Harmony, you can't bring Thena. Thena is too easy to see.
True. Well, I'll tap
What, you mean
Dahlia,
bright
but-
green and 6/6 is hard to hide? That doesn't sound right.
I am not leaving Fina behind. Fina's
funsies.
coming with us.
You're pulling a tarot card. Okay.
For
All right.
funsies.
Wow.
What if?
Whoa.
Listen, I have way too many channel points, y'all.
Yeah. I've got a lot of
Ooh.
channel points also.
I've
But-
got 28k.
What if we all did a tarot pool?
No, that would actually. We have 30 minutes left, guys. We can't do this.
Just
Start
this
of
one.
next-
Just
No,
this
this
one.
Start of
this
next time,
is
This one.
this
Yes.
is this is a good one. This is a good one.
Libby's just gonna.
Good for you or
investigate
good
that
for us?
farm. Even bad things are good for us. A story is interesting. Any story.
As this is all happening, the woman who, a woman from the building here, comes out, and she is dressed. She has these blue robes, and she seems very official looking. And she just looks at all of you and sees Alessia walking in this direction. And for better or for worse, she says, "Bless you all and bless the Queen. Blessings of Triton upon you all." And with the 3 of elementals, you all gain the blessing of Triton. All of you have a swim speed of 60 feet until the end of the session.
That's gonna be
Wonderful.
so useful.
30-minute
Swimming.
beach episode.
Time to
30-minute
go
beach
swimming.
Time to go swim in some pussy.
Hey.
And all of you roll another d20 for me.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Natural 20.
4.
Yeah, that's a hot 10.
17 for Libby.
2.
That's a 20.
All right. So with a natural 20, Harmony, you gain.
And I also got a natural 20.
Both of you gain 1 use of the Shocking Grasp cantrip as an innate ability, and you can add that to your. You can add that to your notes, and that will stay indefinitely until you use it.
Awesome.
And also, I will say that the swim speed doesn't last until the end of the session. It lasts until for the next 24 hours. So everyone in the group, please write down in your notes that for the next 24 hours, we'll say it is 5 p.m. in the evening now. So or we'll say that it's 5 by the time this activates. So Migs and Harmony gain 1 use of the Shocking Grasp cantrip indefinitely, as they are empowered by the blessing of Triton, the Water Shaper. And the rest of you gain a swim speed of 60 feet for the next 24 hours.
Awesome.
That's
This
dope.
looks some male, very exhilarated, high fantasy adventure.
So I would love to sneak into the crowd.
Okay. All right. So there's not
Wow.
too many people in the town. Most of them, you can see. Everyone you can see is just kind of and you can hear this hush of this sort of hushed whisper that turns into various shouts of God save the Queen, or Hail Vala Vascratoria. And they just seem to be shouting words of acknowledgement and approval towards Alessia as she just continues to make a beeline, walking confidently with a smoking right hand towards these fleeing hill giants.
Okay, so since there's not really much of a crowd then, I'm just gonna kind of sneak off into the shadows, while Harmony isn't paying attention.
I will follow.
Okay, so again, it's a small town. There's a lot of open space. Thinking maybe like this corridor here, and maybe weaving around someplace like this.
Yeah.
Is that your okay? Middle of the day, small town. I would say make a stealth check at disadvantage.
Cool.
In the middle of a town.
I'm assuming me too.
That makes sense to me. Is it just you, Migs, by yourself?
I'm also gonna slip off.
I think the four of us are just trying to get out.
Yeah, I think
He
Dahlia.
is locked on Ko. Like,
So everyone except for Harmony and Libby are all
And
done.
Thena, because Thena was watching
And Thena?
Alessia, and is probably not with the group at the moment.
Oh no.
Okay, so who's trying to make the slip from Harmony?
I am.
Migs.
I guess I'm with Ko.
Okay. All right.
Come with me, Key.
Okay,
Y'all are
so
gonna go be fired.
the four of you go ahead and make stealth checks at disadvantage, please.
Disadvantage? Cool.
Disadvantage, yeah.
Dude, I'm a rogue. Stealth is my thing.
I rolled a 14 and an 18, so
Okay.
a 16 and a
17. So, let's see. 18.
Well, the
I know how to math.
19 and a 16, so that's gonna be
16.
22.
I have an 8.
I have a +6 to stealth.
so do I.
Mine was 18.
Okay.
So
So
I've got a 22 total.
and that's at disadvantage.
Yeah, I rolled a 19 and a 16.
Okay. All right. So 22 for Migs. Dahlia, what'd you get? 8.
Very funny.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was looking at Emma's. All right. Dirty 20 something. Ko, what did you get?
8.
8. Okay. Oh, that's you. Okay. And Key, what did you get?
18.
18. Okay. Harmony, make a perception check at advantage for me, please.
Investigating the farm. Is there any big damage that giant had done coming up? Or
Surprisingly,
Does it look like anyone's
no.
hurt?
Everyone
Okay.
seems to be. There doesn't seem to be any passive perception check. Doesn't seem to be any immediate damage. The ground is a little torn up where it stomped around. But it looked like it was about to stomp on that cart. But then Dahlia hit it with an arrow. So it's kind of put its foot down and turned to face all of y'all to try and roar. And then Alessia showed up, rolled a stupid fucking initiative of 21, and disintegrated this thing with a higher level cast.
You fuck shit
When
up.
it disintegrated, did the arrow disintegrate too?
Yes.
Okay.
I got both a natural 1 and an 18.
All right.
Mix and Zalia.
We're
So-
just like, bye.
So Athena with okay, so Athena is wandering. Okay, is watching Alessia. She's out of sight, and then realize Alia's gone, and just okay. All right. So
Scooch up.
what did you get for a perception check at advantage, Harmony?
18.
18. Okay, so Megs is good. Dahlia, you said dirty 20?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and just kind of move over here by Migs. And Key rolled an 18 or 16?
18.
18. Okay. So Harmony, as you turn to look towards your wards, you can see Ko is doing like that 1950s cartoon thing of like trying to like tiptoe away. And you can see them kind of just walking alongside of this house kind of comically. You're not sure what they're doing, and you can see Key is kind of just walking. You're not just Key wasn't necessarily one of the ones that was noted as they're a person of interest because of what happened at the tavern, and you know that Key specifically is wanted for questioning for or because of what's happening with the property damage. She's a person of interest in that investigation, but property damage seems to be a little bit less important on your tier of priorities than Thena, who is fortunately just kind of watching Alessia walk towards the forest and seems to be content in that moment. Libby is standing right by you, but Migs, your ambassador from the Empire, as well as that person who Darius seemed to take a pretty significant interest in, Dahlia, seemed to have given you the slip. But also, they're really important. Their mother is one of the 7 most important people in the entire Queen's Realm. So they're all seemingly trying to get away from you.
Harmony's like, oh, I thought I had friends.
No, I'm not surprised at all.
Let's go
I
post some
wanted to just
mail.
go. They
Go
could have
post some mail.
asked.
Technically,
Libby,
I did ask, and you said no, and so I was like, I'm leaving.
I thought it would be better to stick together. And you wanted to split up and do your own thing. You're an independent woman, and I understand that now.
I'm glad you understand it now after spending 3 weeks on a ship together. Or 3 days, not 3 weeks.
And Harmony's too busy flirting with you to. Libby,
Yes.
since our compatriots have decided to wander off, probably to the post office or wherever she wanted to go, how about we take the green bitch and Co and Key, and we go shopping for clothes.
Sure. As you wish.
Okay, everybody roll another d20 for me. Not related to tarot cards or related to the channel points. Just a quick
Natural
d20.
20.
18.
15.
Okay.
Nat 1.
Oof.
Okay, so Dahlia was natural 20, and Migs, you said 18?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to start with Dahlia
15.
and 15. Okay. All right. And Key, you said 16?
Yeah.
Okay, and Harmony, what was yours again? 16? 15?
15.
15.
Wait,
okay.
I said
I think you said 16.
mine was 15. not
15,
18.
okay.
Not whatever. It was said at the same time as the 18. Now I'm confused. Math isn't good.
Okay, so
That's a 15.
no worries. Simultaneously, we're going to say Migs and Dahlia. You're first up. What would you two like to do as you efficiently and effectively give Harmony the slip?
Alright, so first of all, we should probably head to the post office.
Okay.
Can I suggest
Well, so
we
the
go-
the post office is the general post. Your contact at the tannery is it's one of the smaller buildings. It is
Yeah, Mix wanted to go to the actual post office, but I was going to suggest, could we possibly go to a contact of mine first? It's important.
Yes, of course.
the
you,
tannery is over here. Take a little.
We shall head there.
Now then, since I have you alone, why don't you tell me what's going on? What has you so worried?
That depends. Can I trust you?
Of course you can trust me, darling. I'm on your side after all.
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah, you can.
Yep.
There is some trust there, but not enough.
Of course, if she said
Migs-
she...
Go ahead, Liddy.
No, I was saying something dumb, but I lost it halfway through the sentence. It's fine.
Okay, all right. Make a deception check for me, Migs.
I wasn't really planning on being deceptive. I am being open. I'm on. Like, I don't like the queen, I guess. Or do you still want me to roll deception?
Yeah, just roll it because I'm curious about something. Just to
Okay.
see.
I rolled a 17 in insight.
17 insight. Okay.
Let me see what my deception is again. 23 deception.
Oh, fuck you.
I'm sorry, I have a +8 to deception.
How dare you? Didn't you know I was gonna insight check you? Gee.
I'm sorry. I rolled lower than you. I rolled a 15.
Aaron,
Yes.
Emma asks if you already drew the card for Anna.
Ooh. Ah, not yet. We had the last one was the 3 of Elementals. All right, so let's see. Hang on, I gotta add another That background. Copy. Paste. Alright, so your contact, by the way, is at Katia's Second Skins, which is the tannery.
Mm-hmm.
And that is run by Katia Saras. Alright, tarot card pull for Anna. Pull for a patron.
Don't fuck us up, please.
Ooh, okay.
Please, Anna.
Gold rains from the sky.
Okay. That is... I want to say... Marching down the main thoroughfare here is one of those contingents of soldiers that had been recently deployed from the ship. The first group of soldiers in town is marching through the main thoroughfare, and there is a long column of about 50 soldiers marching their way, and you can see that they have the shimmering silver armor with the red cloaks, and the soldiers' helmets, kind of almost like Roman style, with like they have the chin straps down on the side here, the metallic chin straps, and they are kind of walking down, and they do the call and answer, and just follow Vascratoria, and then from the back, woo, and they're marching. They're making a beeline right for Ko. Or Ko, you just are kind of on the corner here, and they're just marching towards you.
Towards me?
Not towards you, but in your general direction. Yes.
Okay. Ko is going to grab Key by the hand and move out of the way, so that they don't walk over us, and just kind of, not look at them directly.
Okay.
While Ko does this, Key's just like, nice weather we're having.
I gotta find where the...
Yes, it is very, very nice weather.
Is it nice weather, though?
I think it is. I think it's pretty nice.
I
Right?
mean, there was just
Better
a
than the
tsunami.
storm, so...
Oh,
I
maybe
wonder if that
not.
guy's gonna get boots.
This is the
think he
tavern
will.
here.
Guys, I don't know what weather is. I live in England. It doesn't know what it wants.
Yeah.
That's Texas.
Tell me
It was
about it. We've
snowing
had rain.
the other day.
I think we all
We've
live
had
in
rain,
places that
snow.
weather is just fucked for no reason.
Yeah.
Lone Dragon Inn.
Fucking like
Shout out
New
to the
England
Midwestern
over
unit.
here.
Shout out to the Midwestern U.S. We've
got
seen
New
rain,
England, we
snow,
got- yeah.
hail, and sunshine in the last 4 days. It's been.
I just gotta say, my ideal place is somewhere that is raining all the time and like nice, decent temperature and not hot.
Yeah. Meanwhile, New England over here has been like, it was 20 degrees yesterday. Today it's 60 degrees. And then it was like raining like for the past week.
It was
How did
40
we
this
end up-
morning. It was 88
Except for
as a high.
except for yesterday when it was snowing because it was 20 degrees.
So
How did
as...
we end up- Sorry.
That's okay. As this column of soldiers makes its way over here to the corner, you're just kind of hanging out, trying to be casual over here in the corner by the building with Key?
Oh, absolutely.
Correct.
Okay. The sergeant who seems to be leading this column, who has sort of more gold trim and sort of the golden emblem of the Vascratoria, that badge, the sigil that is on our splash page for the Roll20, he kind of stops in his tracks as he reaches the corner and just puts a hand up, and the whole column just comes to a stop. And he just kind of looks directly at you and just stops, and his eyes are just wide with disbelief.
Be like, top of the morning.
Walk away.
I'm gonna be like, hey, Migs, we're Dahlia. We're.
And he just and and just I'm sorry, and just gets down on he says just holds up and royalty in the quarter, and everyone just kind of stands to attention, and he gets down on one knee and he says, Sergeant Tommen, at your service.
Tell them not to go to the fort.
Just be like, what was his name?
Sergeant Tommen.
You're gonna be like, Sergeant Tommen, a pleasure to make your acquaintance. How fare thee?
And just permission to stand at ease.
Oh, absolutely at ease. Oh, you know me, I'm always at ease.
And he just kind of stands and takes the he has a blade, sort of a very intense, ornate-looking blade by his side, and he stands to attention, puts his hands behind his back, and says, with all due respect, you were reported missing, and I'm happy to see you here. I am but a simple sergeant of the Vasquatoria, simply willing to do my part, and I wish to be of service to you and help you with returning. Are the individuals who have taken you, or has anyone done you any harm?
Yes! Darius has insulted me greatly!
They just... You see the soldiers kind of like look at each other, give each other a funny look. By the way, Anna, that was Upright, the Five of Adversaries, which is really beautiful art, by the way, so... I know Ko does not want to return, and the closest adversary that would trigger from that would be the Vasquatorian soldiers, who immediately recognize Ko and continue on to say, we would be happy to escort you back immediately on the next ship to depart.
Well, you see, we actually have a party to go to tomorrow, so don't you worry. There has been an arrangement made. No need to thread it out. I'll make sure that Ko gets back to the mainland.
Also,
who are you?
The whole missing thing was kind of a misunderstanding. You know, I was on vacation. I don't know what my mom's talking about.
I'm just a handmaiden. Yep.
Yeah,
Make a deception check.
Shit.
That is a gorgeous card.
A hot, hang on, 25.
Right. Well, my apologies, handmaiden. No, MX Kohilarian. How can we be of assistance to you? Do you have a ward here? Your mother insisted that a ward be placed upon you immediately, and my apologies, MX Kohilarian, but your mother's word unfortunately supersedes yours, so in lieu of a chaperone, I can certainly dedicate at least
I have
Corporal
a
Eisen,
chaperone.
front and center!
Actually,
And he shouts
listen,
over,
I have one. Harmony, darling, can you come over here and help me?
and you see one of the soldiers, very eager, kind of little gruff, sort of a little bit of stubble, very kind of handsome in a way, kind of runs over and kind of puts the spear straight down and just, Sir! And,
does Harmony hear that? The cry for help.
So Ko was trying to tiptoe away from you, and now is crying for your help.
I don't want to go with these people, though. That's the thing, is I really don't want to go with these people.
Reason Key's here is so that Ko doesn't get kidnapped.
Yeah. So does Harmony hear this cry for help?
Yes. Yeah. I'll say you're close enough.
Okay. Harmony, and I'm guessing Livy, will walk towards the sound of someone asking for her help, and will stride in confidently.
Okay.
Yes, I heard you call.
These gentlemen were just asking about Ko's chaperone.
Another eye twitch. Yes.
I love the eye
You
twitch.
were given the official title from
Yeah.
Darius.
Do you already have DM
No.
inspiration, by the way? I think you
Pardon?
said did you use the DM inspiration on initiative?
I did.
Okay, all right. You're very close to another one.
It's just every time chaperone's mentioned, it's like
I love recurring gags, and the eye twitch is great. The eye twitch is wonderful.
Yes. Ko here already has a ward, a chaperone. And that is me. And I'm more than capable of looking after her myself. Don't you have other things to do?
Do you, I'm sorry, miss. The sergeant steps up again. Do you have credentials?
She does. Does she? She does.
You do. You have like
She has, like,
you have
a
8 different kinds
certificate.
of credentials.
Yeah. She will. I have my passport, my driving license. What would one look like?
So you have a badge with the crest that also has your insignia on it. So on the splash page, the Vasquatorian official crest, you have that, but with the 3 chevrons for sergeant. And you also have official documentation from Darius Essex.
That's true.
And Ko actually has the seal of Darius Essex's personal seal of.
The coin.
Yeah, it's sort of like a favor. There we go.
They'll be flipping it around in my fingers like Jack Sparrow.
Okay.
And Harmony will bring out her badge
Okay.
and just hold it up.
Okay. He just kind of takes a closer look at it, and right. And you are not in any distress.
You know, I'm a lot of things. Distress, currently, not one of them.
All right. In that case, we will leave you in the capable hands of Miss Sergeant Harmony, Sergeant
I was
Nithes.
gonna give a little nod of thanks.
Well, I suppose that settles it. All right. Well, that makes things a little bit easier. Soldiers.
Thank you for being so dutiful in your job.
Thank me later once we rout these fucking rebels. All right.
Rebels, you say?
Says I. Soldiers! To the forest edge. The camp's not going to set up itself. Let's go. And they just and continue to march through town. And kind of actually, start trekking towards the direction of the fort.
Interesting.
I was
Well,
just gonna say
post-
loudly as he's passing, man, I sure hope those rebels to the east don't get found. They were kind of nice, you know.
One of the soldiers at the end says, "Oh, the soldiers aren't to the east; they're to the south in the forest. So better stay clear, eh?"
Hi.
Every time Ko opens their mouth, my whole soul just transcends. It's so good.
Fina,
I'm so sorry.
Fina watches these people pass and has a moment where she suddenly realizes, where the fuck is Dahlia?
At some point, he is just going to, like, if Ko starts speaking, because Ko tends to tell the truth, is just gonna, I got this.
So that's about
Please
50
tell me that the
soldiers.
Please tell me the hookup has like magical means of communication, or I'm fucked.
Are you talking about? Are you talking about your connection?
Yeah.
She
please.
might, or yeah, they
I'm
might.
going there. Please. I'm gonna cry.
All right, so you're making. So are you going to the post, or are you going to Katia's second skins?
To Katia seconds.
All right, so y'all make your way over to.
Wait, what was the result of the deception check and session site?
Oh,
thing?
you're right. So heading back over there as you're walking. What did you roll again, Mix?
I got a 22.
Oh, you don't have to tell her a god's damn thing, or you can say whatever you want.
Like I said, like you found out before, she doesn't seem to very much care for the crown. She is, after all, someone from a foreign entity. Someone who is from a foreign entity who has invaded a space in the place earlier anyway, so it's, and also someone who seems to have like an armed bodyguard. Not necessarily to protect Migs, but more to make sure Migs doesn't do some shady shit.
What was the question you asked, by the way? Because I
I
can't
asked-
remember.
I asked about you, like, why you were so afraid, and like, what is the urgency of like this thing that you were going to do?
Oh, I have some family in the woods.
Just some family?
Yeah? Don't you have family?
Me? Family? Come now. Do you think I would really be here if I had any family?
I don't know. You travel a long way. But
No, the Kurosina Accord is my family. Anyway.
sounds like bullshit.
All right, so you make
Excuse you?
you make your way through the town, past the Lone Dragon Inn, by the Fairhaven Post, and towards Katia's second skin. So I'm gonna just move y'all in the general path. So say Dahlia knows where it is, so pardon me while I just move your tokens for you.
Yes, please.
So make
I can only
way
linger for a few more minutes. My
You got it.
presence
We
is
are
being
just about
requested downstairs.
wrapping up. All right, and I want to see as Emma plots something ridiculous. We're gonna pause there with Dahlia and Migs at the arrival of Katia's second skins. As you approach the large wooden building, making your way through the town, you can smell again that delicious scent of fish pie, of fried fish, fried clams, seafood stuffing. Everything is just, and there is just this vibrant atmosphere that is congregating more. The further west you go, the thicker the people, and there are about 1,000 people down by the docks. Almost everyone has made their way down to the docks, where again there are dozens of vendor stalls and other tables, etc. But you approach the large wooden building, very much uniform to the rest of the town, and you can see the outline of what appears to be sort of a leather breastplate and 2 axes behind it of Katia's second skin. So I want to see, I want to get a destination for Ko and Key before we end for the night. So we're going to pause there for Dahlia and Migs. Ko and Key, what's your destination?
We're going to clothing shopping.
We want to get some accessories and maybe some dress shoes or maybe
Okay.
some fancy cloaks or some dresses.
Some nice slacks.
Or some slacks.
Would Harmony and Libby be tagging along?
I would assume so at this
Likely.
point.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more likely
Yeah.
than you think.
After the fact that Ko just chose Harmony over those guards, that it's like, okay, I guess I'm stuck with you now.
That's a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, considering the person that she's been tasked with, like, hanging out with keeps trying to ditch her.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you appreciate me. Tip me. Give me a 5-star rating.
On Yelp.
Yeah.
So the sewing circle is right here. Map layer.
Don said, pull, I want that store manager to be a total Karen.
GM map. All right, so the sewing circle, you can kind of come around this way, and there's some stairs that lead down over to sort of the town square, and then you can enter the main building from this angle, which is a large, old-fashioned building. The outside is a little bit worn, but I'm gonna move. So that's Ko, Libby, Key, and Harmony that are kind of collectively making their way to the sewing circle to look for dress and garb.
And Thena, I think.
Okay, Thena. Nope. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and move Harmony to the forefront. Kind of Harmony. I think in terms of priority, your boss seems to have a handle on Thena, so I would say in terms of priority, making sure the child of one of the 7 most important people in
Yeah.
She would probably be the most important.
She
Okay.
obviously needs my help, so.
Yes. So I'm gonna move y'all. Nice. So I'm gonna move y'all over as a group collectively, down over to this large, somewhat dilapidated building. Again, that same scent of fried fish. Because what's happening is people are continuing to cook throughout the day, and as the day grows late into again the 5 o'clock p.m. hour, more people are also hosting dinners, and people start to return from the docks, and you can see large gatherings outside of residential homes, and just everything smells of fresh fish, and there are other again those dozens of street vendors down by the docks. But y'all make your way to the sewing circle. So Dahlia, you said you were going to do something incredibly stupid, so
Oh, that was me, darling.
and
Athena realizes.
we have, real quick, I just want to say we have one more at the end of the session to address possibly next session. That is going to be Circedon Christian's pull. So I'm going to pull that now, and then go ahead with what you were going to do.
No problem. It's just gonna be great fun. Athena's gonna go follow Alessia.
Okay.
She's alone.
Cool that.
Now's the time.
Now's the time.
You left me unsupervised.
You left me unsupervised, and I've been watching this lady on her own. I know that nobody's with her right now.
Bold of you to assume she's ever actually alone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's probably not ever actually alone, but
All right.
probably sans Darius.
All right, so I'm going to keep this card in my hand. And you can see her kind of at the edge of the forest, kind of just, she has what appear to be some, hang on, I got to check and see exactly what it is so I don't set the forest on fire.
Oh, not my forest.
No, this little patch of woods here.
Okay. Panic. I'm afraid.
Yeah, she just kind of, she throws a couple of fire bolts over towards the hills. And you can see the giants have kind of disappeared into the rocks. So you're just making your way across the field?
Yeah, cause is it just like a empty field, tall grass kind of thing?
Yep.
Yeah, Athena will kind of get down a little bit lower, hood up, and just sprint across after Alessia.
Also, hello, Rogar. Hi. We're just about to wrap up. So you're picking up speed and just kind of sprinting after her?
Yeah, kind of low to the, a little bit lower,
Oh,
but is going
jeez.
to get after her.
Oh boy. Okay. Uh-oh. So you make your way, just kind of sprinting through the field. Make a perception check for me
Okay.
as you get to about here. Overlooking the fort.
18.
You look up as you approach, you look up at the fort here, and you can see Darius kind of looking down, just surveying the field with his hands on the wooden railing that overlooks, and he is just observing.
Okay.
Okay, you make your way, eventually Alessia turns around and kind of straightens out a little bit and gets a little professional.
Athena will slow down a little bit, direct eye contact, and head into the forest.
Okay. She's just on the edge of the forest. So
Yeah, Athena's gonna walk a few steps in because she noticed Darius. She's gonna walk a few steps in, and she's going to say, "Maybe out of sight, love."
She just... You can see her eyes narrow, and she said, "Oh, why did you call me that?"
I don't know. You tell me. You're the one with the fun little silver threads.
What I do to keep myself in check is my own business.
Oh? Of course. But you see, I've run into a little problem, and you seem to know a little bit more. than most of the people I've run across. It would be a shame for me to walk away. Especially when you are so very captivating.
Oh, Jesus Christ. She kind of blinks and twitches for a minute. Let's see if she can beat her own saving throw.
Again? Oof. That's the same thing she got last time, DM. I love Aaron's, like, supremely pained, like,
Yeah.
how do I get out of this face?
Yeah.
Stand by.
Lena is,
Lord.
by the way, like, quite a few steps into the forest, so I'm hoping that she is taking the hint and following a little bit.
She's walking to the edge of the forest, but she does say that Darius is watching us directly. We can't go into the forest alone. Not with him watching.
Okay, hold on.
So thank you to Tabletop RPG Music. This is Field of Oblivion. Please give them a follow. Check them out on the YouTubes and on Patreon. They gave us special permission to use their music. So thank you so much for the collaboration. This is Tabletop RPG Music, Beacon of the Fields of Oblivion. So, go ahead.
The field we're in is grass, right?
Yep,
Is that like tall grass?
it is. It's sort of blowing gently in the breeze.
Um,
And you can see her kind of like, she just in that moment kind of takes and rubs the back of her neck. And you can see her eyes are like fluttering, like rapid eye movement. As if she's desperately trying to remember something.
Thena would like, this is probably stretching druid craft a tiny bit, but Thena would like to try and make the grass around them bloom to see if it can get some more height on it, to maybe be a little bit more obscuring of them, because it has to fit within like a 5-foot cube. So I imagine a couple casts of it around them to suddenly make all the grass grow very tall.
Okay, you do, and it does. And she says, what are you doing? We can't arouse suspicion for Darius. He would...
He would do what?
And the grass just grows. And you look over at the last second and you can see Darius just gonna narrow his eyes and start walking.
Good.
Hurry!
And the grass is tall.
Yes. I don't know how tall.
You can see she just and her eyes are still fluttering. She looks back up at you and something is missing. And she takes the silver thread and just takes about 3 of them from her person and just kind of takes them and puts a hand to kind of lifts up the mask a little bit, and you can see that there is this magical scarring around her eye and down her face. It is like almost like a sigil, like a rune that has been carved onto her face, and she just takes it and puts the threads to her cheek and turns away from you. And then just kind of
Tina's gonna watch
to a
Darius.
temple.
Watch his progression.
So the grass is now tall enough where you can just kind of barely see him disappear from sight.
Thena will start kind of quietly backing away. Kind of
And-
getting more and more into the tree line.
Okay. She does say from the tarot card pull, Blood Hunter. So that is for Circedon. He's going to need your blood. We don't have much time. The only way that we can convince him that there's nothing going on is if you let me take your blood. You have to trust me. And she says, we've only got about 10 more seconds.
Athena will give it.
How do I want to play this?
Oh, this is like the reverse DM. Like, how do you want to do it before the DM?
How do I want to play this?
Oh.
Only you can answer that, DM.
I love
Emma
this
is the
so much.
CEO stumping Aer'ath.
Great.
It's a lot of fun being an amnesia character and not knowing what dumb shit you're doing.
And she just grabs both of your hands. And just kind of pulls you a little bit closer to her. And says, something is missing. I don't have it. I don't know where it is. There's something going on. All I know is that I care for you deeply. I must have modified my own memory, and I don't have all the strands. You have to be careful around Darius. We have to be careful. We cannot be seen together like this. We don't have much time left here. Say something. Anything.
I will find it.
Something is telling me that I care for you deeply, more than I even know myself. I don't know what it is. I don't know I don't know what
Athena's
we
gonna,
are.
like, very gently, like, put a hand on her face and, like, I'll find it for us.
She just takes her hand and puts it on yours and just... Oh, good gods. And just looks at you and her eyes soften. And just... Are we?
And then it's been about 10 seconds now, right?
Yeah.
Athena cuts her hand and holds it out.
And she just... Put the plants down. Get rid of the plants.
They'll wither and die around them.
You can see a single tear just falls down her cheek. And you can see Darius now kind of making a beeline over towards y'all as the flowers wither. And she just, as she does, she kind of just turns and crouches down and takes the silver thread and just kind of puts her hand to her temple and takes the silver threads, pulls them out, and puts them back into the pouch. And then looks back at you. Right, I'll need the sample of... Oh, right there. And she just takes a glass vial and kind of takes your hand and is still holding your hand. And she looks very confused, but she just takes the tip of her finger and just gently caresses the back of your hand as she is draining the blood into the vial.
Gay.
This is so gay.
So gay.
And
So gay.
she just
So
looks
gay.
back up
About
at
to
you.
be crying.
And
You are crying!
her eyes lock with yours, and you can see that there's that subtle twitch of recognition, even though it's not all there. And she just looks at you and she smiles as she's draining the blood. And you see Darius kind of stop and with a bit of an angry look, but then just kind of continues walking a little bit less intently as you see him like let out a little bit of a sigh of relief or something. But as he sees her draining the blood, and she just looks at you and says, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm not all there, but if I may be so bold. And she just kind of continues to just kind of caress the back of your hand and just, for what it's worth, I think you're absolutely breathtaking.
Good.
And then just takes the vial, puts a topper on it, and just gives you a small, warm smile. Suppose we should get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So
And then
gay.
Athena's actually gonna go into the woods.
As Darius kind of closes distance, that's where we're going to end the session for tonight.
Gay. Gay.
The
Gay.
echoes of the gay had me dying. I wasn't expecting everyone in the chat to be like,
Welcome to
Gay.
Gay.
I am crying.
Welcome to
from
gay.
the
Welcome to gay.
I do
That's
love
the
an
giant
absolute-
yelling down from the hills.
May we
Oh,
all
welcome
be
to
in the
gay.
distance.
all of you. I do want to aside. Half of me is convinced she was lying. So
Yeah.
it's okay. She can emotionally manipulate us.
Yeah, that's fine. She can emotionally manipulate us.
Roll.
Yeah,
roll
once-
you can
yeah,
roll
that's
insight.
fine.
You can roll insight.
I can roll an insight?
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
I'll even give you advantage. Roll an insight at advantage
Get that crit.
because you do feel comfortable and just drawn to her.
Okay, I rolled an 11. I'm gonna use my favored by the gods trait so I can add even more to this.
You roll 11
Yes.
at advantage.
Yeah, I rolled a 6 the first time, so.
Okay.
But I'm gonna add some more points to it. So give me 1 second.
Okay.
Perfect.
Oh my
So that's
That's a 25.
it does say attack roll.
Oh, you're right. So it's just gonna be a 17 then.
17. She intentionally fails the deception check, and as she can see that you're trying to read her, and there is absolutely no resistance. She just seems to let you in, and all of your intuition says that she's not bullshitting you.
Oh no, no,
I'm
my heart's
so
gonna
happy.
hurt.
I'm so happy because I
know.
sent you such a long list of my theories about this whole thing.
She
Yeah,
is.
did we
My
all do
God.
that?
She
I'm pretty sure
seems-
Aaron-
She seems to genuinely care for you in
Oh,
a way that
no.
is
Let's
yet
start a betting
undefined.
pool.
You
Mini
got
boss
this.
fight later with her memory wiped, or a corpse we find in a weird spot.
Let's not
Betting pool.
Yikes.
Oh, it's gonna be
Don't bury the
tragic.
gays. Don't bury the gays.
It's gonna be tragic.
Bad trope.
It's already
So
sad.
sad. It's already sad.
But yeah,
It is.
It's still cuter than talking to someone who no one else can see.
yeah,
Oh, the hot shadow
It's
smoking
cuter
dude.
than having your dad die.
yeah. Which is a very real possibility for Dahlia. Dahlia's gonna be so mad.
Wow. Yeah, this whole story, it like
Everybody has main character energy, and I love it here.
I love everybody's story, but I am a sucker for gay. Gay stories
Libby
have a
is literally just
special place in
vibing.
my heart.
We
Yeah.
love gay.
We love a
love
good gay
gay.
tragic romance.
We do.
Because you know something very tragic happened here.
Mhm.
Tragedy of the gays.
Tragedy of
Bold
the
of you to
gays.
assume the tragedy is strictly in the past.
Oh, that would be very nice, but what a
The
nice
tragedy was like
dream.
days ago.
It wouldn't be
Tragedy
true if it
just in the
was.
past. Not
Tragedy
in a D&D
is-
game.
Tragedy is
feel
a
like-
DM's best friend.
Oh yeah.
I'll have
Yeah,
you know I
so
bring my tragedy with me
There's
to the present in a suitcase.
Big
I
fucking mood.
am tragedy.
there's still a big chunk of it that's missing, but like little pieces. I didn't want to give you everything, but I
Your
wanted to like.
wife.
Yeah, you were. I. Emma likes to push the button, so you know, I'm fully okay if you just make the check amount way bigger than you had originally planned, because I will keep pushing the button.
I mean, it's great because wow, yeah. Whew. All right, well, thanks everybody for joining us for another wonderful evening of Heavensfire. Thanks for staying up so late with us. We love you all very much, and I believe because we're going to be at PAX East on the 23rd. So I'm going to double check with everyone, but I think we might be playing the 16th, the 30th, and the 7th. So we have a lot of upcoming games. I'm just going to double check with our wonderful cast here. Everyone seems to be available, so I think if we can, we might be short a couple of people in a couple of days. But if it's only one and or two, I think we might do a short session and focus because of the tarot card pulls and because we have so many different groups. I think that actually might be an opportunity for those who are absent to defer some of the things to some of the other people in the party and allow some of the shopping to be done. And then once we resume on the 7th with everybody, so the next full cast together without any adjustments will be on Saturday, May 7th. Again, the 23rd, we will be at PAX East. So look out for our tweets and our updates, our live updates there on all of our social media. And big announcement, I am officially joining. I'm very excited to announce that I am currently working on a collaboration with Roll for Luck, which is Ryu Plays Games. That is her. She's going to be DMing an amazing actual play live stream, and I am very excited to announce that there are big things in the works that have already been announced on the Twitter. So you can check out Girls Run These Worlds on Twitter, Ryu Plays Games, and also you can check out the Roll for Luck, the official Roll for Luck on Twitter. So stay tuned for that. Just a little tease about that. So we have our first kind of meeting session about getting started on Wednesday. So look for us on the 16th and the 30th with a reduced cast so we can get some shopping episodes out of the way. And we will be back as a full cast on the 7th. So we love you all very much. Thank you all for hanging out with us on a Saturday night. And until next time, be gay, do crime. We love you very much. And we'll see you this Saturday the 16th with a slightly reduced cast for shopping. All right, good night, everybody.
Bye.
Mwah.